and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. This week it's all about redemption. Redemption for one of our trio here, because when we did this episode the first time, he wasn't in the best of places. Who am I talking about? Well, let me introduce my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, heavens above, it's FreezingInferno.
Hi, everybody.
What the hell was that? And to my virtual right, she doesn't fear the Reaper, she is the Reaper, it's Concave Usurper, also known as Cat.
Yes, thank you.
That was not worth the latent buzzing it gave the audio at all. So yeah, Dark Water, Death in Heaven. Finally, some decent food.
Well,
Yes.
to be fair, we have done some pretty good stories lately. Mind Robber, Ghostlight.
I'm talking more like in the modern era, like some good food.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absence does make the heart grow fonder, so...
Apart from the two that we did for this podcast, this is the first time I've watched a modern Doctor Who episode since Timeless Children, and...
Finally, a good two-part Cyberman story with the Master as the main villain.
Yep.
Finally.
Well, technically, the Timeless Children was the last of 3 parts, but yeah.
Finally.
Finally, The Rock has come back to San Francisco.
To Boss Sing Say. I can't help it. Every single time I hear him, I hear that quote, all I can think of is The Rock has come back to Boss Sing Say. I don't know why.
That
but
is an
it's
amazing mental image.
Oh, God.
Plus, I mean, he would fit in because there was the boulder.
He just gives the Fire Nation the rock bottom.
Oh, my God. As you can see, Cat is having fun with the soundboard.
I'm not sure it deserved that, but thank you, Cat.
So, absence does make the heart grow fonder. I can remember parts of this hazy, anxiety-filled mess, and I remember y'all weren't the most thrilled with Dark Water, Death in Heaven. You know, it was very much, if you go back to our original episode, it was very much, oh, Moffat's doing his usual Moffat bullshit again. What the fuck? This doesn't make much sense.
Well, I really enjoyed Dark Water the last time we reviewed it.
Yeah. Now here we are, 7 years later, and it's like an oasis in the desert for all y'all.
I mean,
Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone, and unfortunately, that includes Moffat.
Given some of the talk that's been coming out of the fan base this past week, yeah, you're right.
Oh God, what have we done now?
Just rumours that Jodie Whittaker is not long for the series.
Oh
Yes.
God.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, I don't want Jodie to leave. I want Chris Chibnall to leave.
I'm not even sure I believe them, because would they really replace the Doctor a year before the 60th anniversary?
Yeah.
The fuck knows.
I think this might be a
With
bit
the
of wishful
way that
thinking.
things are going now, they absolutely would, because it's that much of a fuck up, and this entire 2 series so far have been fuck ups. So
Well, not all of it, but yeah, it's not been great.
well, anything that had Chris Chibnall touching it.
The
What's the fuck
critical and the ratings have not been so good.
Except Rosa. Rosa was pretty good. It had like its moments, but I think that was all Chibnall's fault, not Miss Blackman's.
Rosa was an important episode, but it's not one I particularly found myself enjoying.
I mean, that's kind of the point of Rosa, isn't it? It's not an enjoyable episode. It's like oh Jesus, I'm uncomfortable. And that's the fucking point, because this shit is uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is also kind of uncomfortable in a way. I mean, this was so dark. The first part was so dark. The BBC had to actually put out an apology.
Like, didn't they air this on Remembrance Sunday in the UK? Remembrance.
I don't know
Remembrance
that.
Day
Let me
over
just
here.
double check my
I think they did. So the idea of the dead rising from the grave soldiers,
I'll just double
Cybermen
check my
bullshit.
phone here.
Just
No,
check.
it was nearly Remembrance Sunday.
Okay,
It was the
close.
first part was broadcast on 1st of November, second part on the 8th of November.
Okay, close enough that people kick up. But so, why don't we talk about the story itself a little? Just to remind you of what things were like in the cold fall of 2014. This is the final story, a two-parter of Series 8, Peter Capaldi's first series as Doctor Who. A series which I remember starting off going, I don't know about this new Doctor. I don't know. Deep Breaths didn't really sell me, but by the time we hit listen, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm on fucking board. And then we got a whole bunch of other great episodes. Like we had the big 1-2 punch of Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline, which is a great twofer. I mean, you had your contentious, like even the worst episodes. There are people who will stand up for them, like Kill the Moon and Forest of the Night have their fans.
Unfortunately.
Maybe not entirely on this podcast, but there are people who will stand by those episodes.
They're wrong, but okay, we stand them as well.
And so we
Funnily enough, one of those episodes, Forest of the Night, was just before Dark Water. So it was really nice to have something that was actually good instead of instead of Forest of the Night.
Yeah.
I almost got that backwards. That would have been bad.
You did, yes. I wasn't going to say anything, but you did.
That would have been great. We get it on video. Cat says Forest of the Night, good.
We've got that on tape and Cat's to pay out $20.
I make a new clip to put on my soundboard. It's me accidentally saying that Forest is better than Dark Water.
I mean, if you want to do that, that's creating a rub for your own back, I think. But if you want to do
that would certainly be a hot take machine. That's for sure.
Yep.
I like these episodes a lot, and
me too.
As we said, I didn't get to talk about them at the time, which is why we're graciously coming back. It's not a thing we're going to do often because, well, I don't feel badly about the other podcasts we did, just this specific one for specific reasons. So, shall we talk about Dark Water?
Yeah.
And then Death in Heaven.
Because this hits the ground running.
I love it so much.
Well, I don't love this bit particularly, so...
Let me say one good thing. And these are great. These are words that I've been waiting to say for a while. So we open on Clara.
Yes.
Also, before we get to that, maybe you want to rephrase that, Rainiac, and not say this hits hard.
Oh yes.
Oh no!
I said it hits the ground running, but that's still not very good.
That's still not really great.
No.
Hits the ground. Oh no!
Allow me to just rewind that for a moment. Right. Take two. This one starts off
with a bang.
Well,
Wait, no, shit.
No, that's what I can't say it starts off impactfully because that kind of refers to it as well.
It starts off strong. There.
It starts off strong.
Unlike Danny Pink, who's now dead. Wait, shit.
Take 56.
It starts off strong, and then the episode pulls a twist that hits you like a truck. Wait! No!
Oh my god, we're terrible
No,
people.
no, that's Donna and Ted left.
But yes, we start off with everybody's favorite girl, Clara.
Telling her boyfriend to shut up.
Frez, we're going to get this out of the way now, so you're not interrupting us all the time. Were you able to find instances of mirroring in these two episodes?
You're goddamn right.
You know
cool.
He was.
Now that we've established that you've got instances of mirroring, you're going to shut up about it.
A bit like Denny's got to shut up while Clara's talking to him here.
Okay. But, Kat, all I ask in return, hit the button.
I was born in the United States of America.
Wrong button.
No, that was the right button, trust me.
Truthful, but I was thinking...
All right, fine.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Whoop, 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 whoop. I still
this is gonna
probably
be a
need to
long
point
night.
out where the mirror. Yes, well, so Clara is going to talk to her boyfriend, Danny Pink, and tell him the truth all about her travels in the TARDIS, all her adventures. Just finally lay it all out there and tell him everything, because the series has been building up that she hid going around in time and space with the Doctor after leaving him in Kill the Moon in the best scene in Kill the Moon. But now she's going to tell him everything. She's on the phone, and he goes quiet. What's up with that?
Well, what's up with that is that he's been hit by a car.
Danny Pink's dead. He's just fucking dead.
This was shocking when it was first aired.
Yeah.
It's still shocking now. And the way they do it is perfect because you don't see him get hit.
No, it's not entirely perfect.
All right, well, you don't see him get hit. You only find out about it because a passerby picks up the phone and tells Clara what's happened.
Now, I do love this scene. The only problem I have with it is the fact that it's technically a kid show. And the reason I have this problem is because essentially the way that they frame it is that the person who hit Danny did not stop or try to stop. Because you don't hear any tire squeals, you don't hear any thumps or anything like that. All you hear is complete silence, and then you have the woman picking up the phone and saying, "I'm so sorry," to Clara.
This would pay off a little bit in the second part.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. I get why they wouldn't put those sound effects in there. But the fact that they didn't put anything in there, like a tire squeal or anything, that sort of took me out of it a little bit, because it's like, what fucking asshole sees someone stop in the middle of the street and doesn't put their brakes on?
Well, funny you mentioned that. I don't know if this is like a credible theory or not, or if this is just something that a bunch of people headcanoned. But there is
driving the car.
There's the idea floating around that Missy was driving the car.
I mean, it's not an idea. She was.
Wait, that's canon?
Really? That's canon?
It's canon.
When did they put that out?
In Death in Heaven.
Really?
Did they?
I think so.
I don't recall this, but
Well, it's definitely canon that she ran him over.
Mm.
There is a tie-in novel. There is a tie-in story, the Missy Chronicles, and in that she definitely does run him over. So
okay, there you go. That's
I thought
good
she
source.
referred to it in the dialogue in this a little bit, but maybe it's another story. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, it's Missy that hits him. But at this point, you don't
That
know
makes
that.
sense.
You just think it's just an accident. Somebody driving far too
Unless you
fast.
were able to listen for the fact that there were no tire squeals. In which case, it's like, that's kind of off.
Yeah, hit and run.
I did write in my notes that, well, the Missy thing is plausible, but there's also, and I wrote this down, there was also the idea that the actual phone call distracted him, and he wasn't looking both ways, and that's how he got hit by the car.
That's how I originally took it. I don't believe that now.
Plus, that puts a lot of the blame, well, quote unquote, the blame on Clara for calling him and not waiting for him to get there. And I'm not really a fan of that reading.
No, the blame's on Danny in that scenario.
Yeah. He was too distracted to look both ways, but I mean, you could see how Clara would blame herself for that.
Just don't
if-
cross the road
Yeah.
when you're on the phone.
Yeah, that's why I said quote unquote the blame.
Yeah, yeah. But I get where you're coming from, so, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
either way,
he's gone. Yeah.
he's dead. He's dead.
He hella dead.
And you get this nice transition from Clara rushing to the accident site, and then it's just this pan that then cuts to days later, I guess, with the memorial on the side of the road from all the students at the
Oh, and
school.
it's beautiful because it essentially it goes to her face, and then it revolves around her to show the street empty and just, cars driving as normal. And then you can see over in the corner, there's the memorial. It's like, oh, such a good take. I miss when we had good direction.
There was fantastic
Moffat,
cinematography.
come back! I never thought I'd say this, but Moffat, come back,
There
please!
was fantastic cinematography throughout the Moffat years and even the Capaldi era in particular.
Rachel Talalay. That's
Rachel Talalay, yes. She handled all 3 of the finales for Capaldi.
And Twice Upon a Time, I believe.
And God, she did a good job.
He's still good. But
Come back, please, Moffat. I miss you.
But speaking of fantastic cinematography, the volcano.
well, we got to set that up. Okay, so Clara's in her house, her apartment, I guess, which I believe is the same place from Time of the Doctor, and the same actress playing her grandmother.
It is, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. He deserved better." And Clara's just like, "He didn't it was so terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was just boring, ordinary. 1 minute he was alive, the next minute he was dead, and that was just it." And she's like, "He deserved better." No, you deserve better. Oh, I don't deserve anything, but I'm owed better. And that's when the Doctor calls.
Yeah,
returning Clara's calls.
That
And
line
it's
about
just, "Hey,
I'm
how are ya?"
owed is heartbreaking. And the fact that she can't show grief about it.
But she's got a plan, and she just picks up the phone and she's just like, "Oh, hey, Doctor, what's going on? Oh, nothing's going on with me. Let's go on an adventure." And then the credits roll. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is she doing?
And when the credits are finished rolling, we're in a volcano.
Oh, this
That
fucking
shot of Clara walking through the smoke is amazing.
It's so good. It's
everything about this fucking scene and the one after it are just absolutely goddamn masterful. I want to say that up front before we gush.
Yeah.
This is a highlight of the Capaldi era for me.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I know this is supposed to be redemption for you regarding Death in Heaven, but I'd also like to take the opportunity to say that I was wrong 7 years ago.
What did you say 7 years ago?
I said that the way that this resolved was a cop-out. I said I felt cheated because this powerful emotional scene, and then it didn't actually matter. I was wrong.
Yes.
I honestly don't remember what I said back then, but I'm probably going to say things that are entirely different now that we are post-Capaldi, post-Chibnall, and it's 7 years later. So,
well, I don't consider it a weakness to...
I'll be honest. I haven't gone back and listened because, I mean, the entire reason we're doing this is because, it's nothing but bad memories. So why the... No offense to y'all and your takes, but why the fuck would I go back and relive
I do not consider it a weakness to admit that you were wrong years ago. I was wrong.
It's like, I didn't go back and listen for the pure fact that I didn't want what I thought before to color my opinion now.
I didn't watch it, but I just know that I called it a cop-out, and I was wrong to call it a cop-out. It's not a cop-out, because if it had been real, where the hell would we have gone from there? The show would have ended.
Yeah.
And also, it's not a cop-out because Clara really got those emotions out there. She really, expressed her guilt, her grief, and all this shit in a real way, but you had the sci-fi bullshit that let it not be, as you say, a series ending.
I mean, the emotions, the acting in this scene is incredible.
It is a gorgeous scene.
To paraphrase that one wrestling meme, it was real to her, damn it.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about this shit. So the Doctor, after the credits, wakes up in a volcano, and Clara comes out of the smoke. And we see in flashback, she's just talking about volcanoes. She's going around, picking up all these keys in the TARDIS. And she also wants this patch for sleeping. The Doctor's like, "Oh, no, you can't have one," but she gets it anyway. And she slaps it on the back of the Doctor's neck while he's taking her to a volcano. And why did she want to go to a volcano?
Because lava can destroy TARDIS keys.
She wants to threaten the Doctor to get him to go back in time and save Danny Pink from his fate.
I love the way they play this. It's just like she holds up the key. The Doctor's like bullshit, just being bullshit. Like, Clara, fucking do as you're told. Give me that shit. And she just tosses the key. She's like, "Do I have your attention?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Danny Pink is dead. And are you serious?
Yeah.
And fix it.
Yeah, and so begins this incredible cat and mouse game between Clara and the Doctor, where she's threatening him with destroying the TARDIS keys in the volcano, and he's saying, I can't change it because if I do that, I create a paradox. If I go back and change events, then you will never have come here, and as to change those events, your timeline disintegrates. Your timeline. And basically, Clara says, every time you say no, I'll drop another key in. And I cannot praise the scene enough.
And Clara, of course, well, I'm just going to say it, but I'm not going to go boo, 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 boo. Clara proves that she's definitely a mirror of the Doctor because she knows that he's trying to wrest control of the situation away from her. So she escalates. She ups the ante. She's just like, you know what, fuck it. And she throws all but one of the keys into the lava in an instant. It's just like, last chance. I don't give a fuck. Change it, or you'll never see that TARDIS again.
There's a great bit when she says, and I don't care about the rules or paradoxes. Chills.
It's like you could see the hint of who she would become in Face the Raven.
Yep.
Yeah.
You actually can. Moffat's done it again. He's so good at planting little seeds.
Yes.
So very good.
Unlike some people.
But she's just like, do it. No. Say it again so I know you mean it. No, Doctor, I'm not fucking around here. No! And she does it. She throws the last key into the lava. She strands him on a volcano for life.
Yeah, and she
collapses weeping in grief as what have I done? She just says the most honest thing. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Can I do something that I didn't really get to do the last time that we covered the Capaldi era?
Can she?
I'm going to take a leaf out of your book, Frez, and I'm going to wax poetic about Clara fucking Oswald.
Yes!
Hey! A leaf from my book.
Oh!
Clara Oswald, this is possibly going to be a hot take, but I don't care. To me, at the very least, possibly to Frez, I don't know, Clara Oswald is the greatest companion that the Doctor has ever had and most likely will ever have.
Preach.
Vindication at last. Oh, this podcast was such a good fucking idea.
I'm not saying this because of what she does. I am saying this because of who she is. She and the Doctor are true best friends. And while he's had people that, like Donna was really great. Rose was a love interest. He's had, people in the past with Polly and Zoe and all that. And I could, I haven't seen all of the different companions for all that much time. At least not as much time as I've seen Clara. But even then, Clara Oswald is a true friend to the Doctor. She is essentially what Missy could, or the Master could have been, had they not become evil.
Just a brief rundown of companions that you could call definitely the best friend of the Doctor in the past, off the top of my head. Jo Grant, Sarah Jane Smith, Ace?
Amy.
Amy.
And even then, he kind of held them away from him, where he was willing to listen to them somewhat, but he also was very chastising, very he was a big person in their lives, and they granted him all of that that power that comes from being a big person in their lives. Clara doesn't take any shit at all.
Really doesn't. No. She doesn't.
She will listen sometimes, but she is such a person that she would absolutely do whatever the hell she wants if she believes it's the right thing. Amy was very, very close to this. but she's still held back a lot of the times. Clara will not. And that's why I think that Clara is the greatest companion that the Doctor would ever have, because she is exactly like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a point that Moffat would go on to work the implications on in Series 9. Just
And, like,
to a big point.
all of your this is your vindication, Frez. All of your bits about the mirroring and Clara becoming like the Doctor, and Brainiac saying that he hates us all right now because we got him to say the word mirror. All of that is vindicated because of this one person and these 2 episodes that we watched. Because she was willing to disobey the Doctor, something that very few people will actually do, in order to do what she thought was right.
Yeah.
Even if it was completely selfish, like bringing back Danny.
And it was, and she did it.
That is why Clara Oswald, Jenna Coleman, fantastic actress, Clara Oswald, magnum opus.
And we're only like 10 minutes in, but it's
I
the
know.
scene after this that is just... It literally changed my life as a critic and creator.
Yeah. The scene
It's like
after
that
this
scene.
it really cements their relationship.
That
So the
scene is
Doctor-
the whole reason why I'm saying this right now and
Okay.
giving her all this praise.
Yeah.
Because of that scene right there. It's like, there are so few people that the Doctor would do this for. And I can think of maybe Amy and Clara off the top of my head.
Yeah. So the Doctor tells the grieving Clara to look in her hand. She's like, "There's nothing in my hand. No, just look." And it's one of those sleep patches. So it turns out the Doctor just took it off his neck and put it in her hand and he's like, "It's not a sleep patch. It induces a dream state." He wants to know how far she would go. He let the whole thing play out just to see how far she would go. And turns out she would go all the way.
Yep.
Well, now we know. And so Clara's just like, "What do we do now, Doctor? What do me and you do now?" Capaldi looks at her and just says, "Go to hell." Clara, she just nods. You know what? Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. And heads for the door. "Clara, where are you going?" "You asked us where we were going. I said we're going to hell. We're going to look into the afterlife, and we're going to find if we can see any trace of Danny Pink."
Yeah.
And what follows is... God, okay. Oh, shit.
I'm not
Am I
crying, you are.
Oh, no, really, I am. Like, holy shit, I might actually cry doing
Oh
this.
God.
But,
That's a first.
no, literally, you don't understand how this scene means to me. But I'll try to explain. So, the Doctor, he's gonna help her find Danny, and Clara's just like, but I betrayed? Yes, you betrayed me. You betrayed my trust. You betrayed everything. You betrayed everything I believed for. You let me down. And Clara's just like, then why are you helping me? And the Doctor, Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, to his friend, Clara Oswald, says, "Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference?"
Yeah.
That line fucking changed, rocked me to my core. It is... Okay, so from 2018 to 2021, I have done a lot of writing on Japanese magical girl cartoons, Sailor Moon, Symphogear, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that line stuck with me as I wrote about these things, because often you have in these shows the betrayal and redemption arc. I've been overtaken by the dark power, and now I'm going to destroy the world. And instead of killing this person, the magical girl will be like, "Wait, no, you're my friend. I'm not going to kill you. I still believe in you. I still trust you." And that line always resonated in my head when I saw scenes like that, when there's always a chance for redemption. There's always a chance. Extend your hand instead of clenching it into a fist.
Let us QB, in which case kill that motherfucker.
Well, yeah. I mean, Madoka is it's entirely different blend of like dark bullshit, but we're not going into that right now. That'd take another book. But every time I saw something like that, cartoons, where it's like, we can understand each other, we don't have to fight. I always came back to that line. Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference?
Yeah. It's a powerful line. It really is.
God, fuck.
It really highlights something that a lot of people seem to not understand. Or if they do understand it, they don't seem to follow it that much. It's the fact that friendship isn't perfect. It's just not. You're going to have these times where you're not going to agree with your friend, or so there's something wrong that, that you're not okay with. It's like, Fred likes the Moon
55?
episode. No, you like the Moon episode, and I don't. You like Orphan 55, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, there will always be these times where you disagree, or something goes wrong, or maybe you do kind of betray your friend. It happens. Maybe not to this level, but it does happen.
Oh,
And
I've seen it happen way too many times in my years.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
I know people in my life who, we don't always get along, but we're still best of friends because we love and care for each other.
And that's what the Doctor and Clara are for each other. They love and care for each other.
That's why I think Clara is the best companion of all, because she doesn't see him as just a love interest or just a man in a blue, or like a time traveling guy going around saving people. She sees the person.
Mm.
She sees the Doctor for who he is, and she likes that.
For all that. Oh, fuck! I just remembered. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta talk about this. I can't believe I didn't write about it, but okay. So this is a bit of a tangent, but I read this Doctor Who comic a while back called Four Doctors.
Yeah.
The four Doctors being 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 9.
I don't believe you're gonna. I was gonna bring this up, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. You know what I'm gonna talk about then.
Ooh.
So part of this comic is going and exploring bad versions of timelines where each of these doctors made the worst possible mistake they could. Like a really bad time. So I'm going to list all of them here. So 10's bad timeline is at the end of time when Wolf is in the booth and like, oh, I'm going to die. In the bad timeline, 10 is like, you know what? Fuck you! I'm the Time Lord Victorious!
And leaves him there.
Yeah.
And leaves him to die. 11's bad timeline is not fixing time in Wedding a River Song and just living his life out with River at 5:02 p.m. for eternity. You want to know what 12's bad timeline is?
I know, but
Something to do with Clara.
yo,
In 12's bad timeline, after Clara does this shit with the keys, he kicks her out.
yeah,
No!
he never got over it.
And he becomes a bitter old man who ends up being the villain of the Four Doctors piece.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, the villain of Four Doctors is a twisted alternate 12th Doctor.
Yeah. So that just goes to show how important this is. That beating up that friendship over some bullshit, over this little bullshit, just made him a bitter, evil character.
I don't know who wrote the comic, but I know who wrote the episodes, and that's fucking Moffat. And it's like, holy fucking shit. I want Please come back, Moffat, please.
Oh, God.
I miss good Doctor Who.
It's funny you mentioned River, because there's a nice little Easter egg here that one of the TARDIS keys is hidden in a copy of The Time Traveller's Wife.
Oh, that's cute!
And that novel inspired the character of River Song.
I didn't catch that. That's so cute. Oh, God.
She takes the key out of the Time Traveller's Wife.
But yeah, even whoever wrote the Four Doctors comic. Also, fun fact: 9 didn't have a bad timeline because, as they say at the end, he was fantastic
all the time. No, seriously, that's the payoff.
That is pretty awesome.
At the end of the adventure, when it's all been resolved, and everyone's back in the right timelines, and Clara has saved the day by apologising for what she did.
Yeah.
They briefly see the Ninth Doctor and Rose, I think. And so, why was he drawn into this? Oh, because he was fantastic all the time. End comic.
It's so good.
Oh,
It was pretty good. It was a pretty good comic. A little fan-wanky with the aliens that the evil 12th Doctor aligns himself with, but
Yeah,
I can live with that.
I
But
can too.
But yeah, the point being, our Doctor, 12th Doctor, the good version of the 12th Doctor, shall we say, he is betrayed by Clara, and yet he's her friend. Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference? He's not going to break time for her, but he's going to help her to go look through the afterlife to see if there's any trace of Danny Pink. If there's anything.
I do like how he basically tries to hide his motives here by saying, "Oh, I've always meant to look into the concept of the afterlife. I never got around to it." You're not fooling anyone.
So he plugs Clara into the telepathic circuits, which is a thing they didn't listen, which led them up and down Danny's timeline because she was thinking of them. And so he tells her to think of her. Don't cry, but think about all that hurt, all that grief. Think about the man you lost. Let's try and find him. And where is the man she lost? Oh, he's in office.
Yeah, I love the way the music is used in this scene where Clara's plugged into the circuits.
Oh no, he gets to state something about Murray Gold again.
Okay, have your vindication.
If you get a mirror moment, I get a Murray Gold moment. I get several, in fact.
It's fair. Go ahead.
It's fair. It's fair.
It's a very brief one, but when she's plugged into the TARDIS circuits and the Doctor's saying, don't cry, don't say why him, why me, where is Danny Pink now? And the music just swells triumphantly. It's so good. It's used so effectively. All right, you're now safe in the music for about 10 more minutes.
That's okay.
It's so cute when he gets to talk about what he likes.
Plus, I get mirror bullshit all the time. We can let.
Don't patronize me.
I'm not patronizing you. I'm saying it's adorable.
It's another same thing.
So you get the music and wrestling stuff. We need to give you more stuff. It's just adorable.
Is that what my life boils down to? Music and wrestling stuff. God.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now
Mirrors
I'm
and
depressed.
magical girls here. Hello.
And now I'm depressed. Right, so yeah.
Mine boils down to being American and making fun of the British. So
Danny is inside a giant office building, and we meet a character we met back in the Caretaker, Seb.
Yeah.
Played by Chris Edison.
Seb.
So this is a plot. This is a sort of a payoff to the puzzle box, I guess, that was going on in Series 8. Where you had these little clues of something going on with a lady and people who died, and then there's this guy in an office. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Well, here's the payoff.
Yeah, feeding things properly throughout the serial. Wow, sure wish we had that the last time Doctor Who was on TV.
You're never
Instead
going to
of
let that
having
go,
it
are
all
you? You are never
bundled
going
in
to let
one
that go.
fucking episode.
You will never let that
Not
go.
that I'm mad or anything.
No, not mad at all. I can hear the sea from here.
So this is an idea that stretched back a while. I mean, you can think of stuff like, well, I mainly think of Beetlejuice, but when I was talking about Beetlejuice a long time ago,
Yeah.
I said that it had sort of a Hitchhiker's Guide vibe, where it's like everything is bureaucracy, even death and the afterlife, and space and shit. So everything's bureaucracy. I think also that Loki show that just came out also does this.
I have no idea. Don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, nothing.
I want to go in as blind as possible. I've been avoiding all forms of social media.
Haven't seen a frame of it. I don't know.
I still haven't
even seen the Wanda show. So
yeah, you need to fix that. But
yeah, we're going to find a way to fix that for you.
So we get a bunch of bullshit from Seb. I'll fill out some forms. It'll make you feel better. Oh yeah, by the way, the last thing you remember happening to you, that really happened. And Danny is just like, what the fuck? Where am I? He opens the curtains in the office and holy shit, what is this shit?
Another great bit of cinematography here. the sweeping shot
It's so good.
of the afterlife.
And
Like,
Seb just walks behind him like,
you know it's CGI, but it's like there's still a fine craft to CGI, and they nailed it here.
they're like, yeah, okay, we just because it's CG doesn't mean we can't shoot it in an interesting way.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I even love the little clue they throw in here as to what's really going on with this afterlife, because
On
Round?
the back wall. On
Yeah.
the back wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which that clue was in the Flatline as well, I believe, when you
Yeah.
had the Missy scene in Flatline.
I love all the little clues I didn't pick up on, or just didn't pay close enough attention to the first time I watched this.
We'll
There are
talk
a
about
lot.
the moment when they make that clue explicit, and that is a really good shot later.
That's
in
a
the episode.
great moment.
So good. It's so
That's a
good.
great moment in a
Yes.
story packed full of them. But
But yes, I love that Seb comes behind Danny as he's looking shocked, and he's like, "Oh, I can see my house from here. Neat."
I want to praise Chris Edison here for his performance as Seb. Sadly, he's not used very effectively in Death in Heaven. It's one of the few weaknesses I think of that story. But
Yeah.
he's really
he has
good.
one good moment in Death in Heaven. I'll give him.
Yeah, but then he immediately is disintegrated after that. So
It's kind of a shame that he and Capaldi never got to interact, because they were on the thick of it together,
Oh my god.
and that would have been kind of amazing. But I can understand it. But no, for quite a minor character, he sticks out.
So, with that, the Doctor and Clara arrive somewhere, and it's an abandoned. It looks like an abandoned building, nobody around. But you see all these signs listing this place as 3W. You know,
there are tanks around. They
There's-
can't quite
there's-
see into them just yet, but they will soon.
and when they do, oh shit! There's skeletons and chairs.
Bastard
The
skellies.
skeleton warriors.
Hey, James Stephen's killing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Doctor opens up this like holographic book, and you get this scroll with a voiceover. You know, at 3W, death is not the end. We promise. And the Doctor's like, "Is it difficult reading all that backwards?" And
The best character
walking-
emerges.
And here she is.
Here she is.
Chris,
Except
thank
we
you.
don't. Except we
I
don't know
know-
who she is.
I know that this was a redemption piece for you, but thank you. I missed Missy so much.
The best character.
She's the best.
She's so good, and you know, and watching this with hindsight, you know, she's completely fucking around.
She is.
Yeah, I love her so much.
So let's just go with her subterfuge for a little bit here. So
Go
we've
ahead.
seen Missy in other episodes of series 8 leading up to this. Mysterious woman in black. We didn't know what her deal was. We find out in about 20 minutes from now, but for now she is masquerading as a droid.
Interesting.
A multi-interactive
And
welcome
you know
droid.
what? I'm going to steal this from Frez. I'm going to steal this moment from Frez. Doctor Who mirror alert. She is dressed almost the exact same way as the Doctor is.
Holy shit!
And that's intentional.
Take away the brooch and take away the hat.
Yeah.
They both have a black jacket on with a white button up underneath that has the exact same design on the white
Moffat has
button-up.
talked about this. That was exactly his intention.
Oh my god!
I love it. I love it.
Because
Just
Missy
I
is-
love it so much.
Yes, I'm going to say it, so get your air horns ready. Missy is a dark mirror of the Doctor.
Oh my god! This is. Oh my god! I need to just like get through this podcast without killing over from joy.
But
Holy shit!
the best. Well, again, there's so many good scenes in this, but Missy giving the Doctor the official greeting.
It's the big smooch.
Hang on.
Well-
Hang on. I hopefully you guys will be able to hear this, but I have something for this moment.
Oh my god!
And the foot is dead.
And I love the way that after she pulls away, Capaldi's still just standing there frozen, and he just looks at Clara and is like, "Is it over?"
Clara doesn't know where to look.
And then Missy says, "Oh, you need the introduction package as well."
No,
And
no,
Clara's
I'm good,
nope,
thanks.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. Saving that for Jane Austen.
Yes.
I love the little wordplay that Missy plays here, where she says, "I am Missy, Mobile Intelligence Systems Interface."
Which technically means that her name is not spelled with a Y at the end, but an I.
Yeah, but this is all a lie.
Okay.
Well, yes, but still.
And also, then she moves in on the doctor again, puts his hand on her chest, and just says, "My heart is maintained by the doctor."
Which doctor? Dr. Chang!
No, he doesn't say which doctor. He says Doctor Who.
Oh, that's right, yes.
The question which must never be asked. Oh, Kavarian's gonna be fucking pissed.
Well, she was not truly villainous, so
Oh,
yeah, then she
God.
just calls out for Doctor
never
Chang.
letting it go.
And
Never.
also the skeletons in the tanks are moving. So
Yeah, as you know, as they do.
Yeah,
As they do, as they do.
bastard skellies.
Back in the afterlife, well, Danny has a request to meet him from someone. That someone being, well, I'm pretty sure they hinted at this in the series before. I think in like Listen and maybe a little bit into the Dalek. But yeah, Danny was a former soldier, and during one of his missions, he accidentally killed a kid.
That scene is in Into the Dalek.
Okay.
Because the boy in that scene was supposed to be in this. He's credited at the end of this.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't appear in this story at all.
Ah,
So it looks like his scene was cut.
I see.
What do you mean?
Well, in the end credits, there's a character called Fleming, credited. Fleming does not appear in the story.
So, are you trying to say that the little kid who is dressed up in the soccer jersey or football jersey, whatever you want to call it, doesn't count as the kid who
No,
Danny
he's
accidentally
boy.
killed?
He's credited as boy. These are two different characters.
Oh, well then you should have started with that.
I did. I said
Yeah.
the character from Into the Dalek.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, yeah, the kid is here in the afterlife and wants to meet Danny. Oh, fun.
Don't know why, but this whole time Danny's having flashbacks and crying horribly. So I think the entire thing was just a ploy by Seb and whoever else might be in charge to get him to eventually press a button.
Well, how about that shit?
What button we won't tell you just yet. Although you probably already know, seeing as this is a 7-year-old episode.
Well, the meeting doesn't go very well. He tries to apologise. The boy runs away. Seb says, probably best not to follow him, eh? So, yeah, the boy was killed in Afghanistan by Danny by mistake, and that's why he left the army.
Wow, that's pretty dark stuff.
Well,
Well,
we're not even at the darkest thing that the story does.
Let's lighten it up by talking about, this is actually like some of the darkest shit Doctor Who's ever done. Oh, okay.
This is what caused the complaints.
I mean, I get it, but also, I get it. It's a good episode, but I get it. But so, let's talk for a bit. The Doctor and Clara meet Dr. Chang, who's, he's sort of running this show here. And, well, there's a great big skeleton in a tank in the center of the room, who I believe is the founder of the 3W Institute.
Yeah, there's a little plot.
Why don't you talk about this?
Yeah, so this guy's name is Dr. Scarosa. And for 7 years, I didn't realise the double meaning.
For 7 years, he never realized.
Yeah, Dr. Scarosa.
Yeah.
Scaro. Daleks.
I mean, it has no point to this story because this is a Cyberman story, but still, yes.
Yeah.
It
is a clue, though. It is kind of a clue to what's going on.
Well.
Not a really good one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so as the Dr. Chang explains, the skeletons in the tanks are, the rich and wealthy who get preserved in these things. And the reason they just don't fall to bones, a big pile of bones, is that the skeletons have a support exoskeleton you can't see in the water, and you can't see it because the water is the titular dark water.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
He puts his hand in a tank of it and his watch disappears.
Only
part of
organic
his
matter
jacket.
can be seen in the dark water.
Now this is interesting because if only organic matter can be seen in the dark water, why are they just skeletons?
Because, well,
Because
I
that's
guess
a clue to
because-
what's going on. But
because Stephen Moffat thinks bones are organic.
I mean, aren't they?
it's not that though. I mean, assuming these people didn't die years and years and years ago, there would be other bits other than just their bones visible.
Yeah.
Well, I think that might be a little bit too dark, even.
No, but it's also a clue. It's also a clue to what's really going on with the skeletons.
Hey kids, who wants to go watch Doctor Who tonight? There's gonna be a rotting corpse.
There is a reason, a very
I'm sorry, did I say a rotting corpse? I meant 50 of them.
there is a very important reason why they are skeletons, which we will get to when the whole thing resolves itself. Because my God, that's glorious.
Okay, so let's talk about the darkest fucking bullshit Moffat might have come up with.
Can we also
in the
have Dr.
show's
Chang's a
history.
pervert?
Is he?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, the thing about the
He wants to
swimming
dark water.
pool.
Oh yeah,
Swimming pools.
And I love the doctor just being like, yeah, I'm imagining it, so.
Yeah, it's
just-
well,
he
think
just
about
doesn't
it.
get
I'm
it.
thinking about it. Why?
That's a very Moffat horny on main.
And
line,
then can
isn't
I
it?
take this bit?
Yeah.
Oh please,
Go ahead.
Can I
ahead.
take this next
Please.
bit and
Go ahead, please.
I will
Destroy all of our souls,
I
please.
will echo what Dr. Chang says.
Oh, you don't need to say echo. Come on, it's my vindication at this point.
I will
Also,
repeat
should I
what
really
Dr.
even
Chang
say
says.
that destroy all our souls? Because that's a little dark too.
If you've had a recent loss, this will be disturbing. So he warns both Clara and the audience here, which is rather clever. So Chang explains what's going on with the Institute, with 3W. And Dr. Scarosa was experimenting with white noise on the television. And he thought he could hear voices in it. And the doctor just goes, why? Was he an idiot? He believed it was the voice of the dead trying to communicate. So, an idiot then.
And then we get the really disturbing part.
Yeah, I do apologise for this, but 3W stands for 3 words. And Dr. Chen plays those 3 words for Clara and the Doctor. And those 3 words are, don't cremate me. The dead are still conscious. And fully aware of everything that happens to them. And this is why the BBC had to apologise after this went out.
Sweet Jesus.
Because people were freaked out.
And
Good.
Seb
They should have been.
Seb eventually explains this to Danny. He's just like, so you're feeling cold all the time. That's because you can feel everything that your body feels in the real world.
Yeah, he says you're here in your new body, but you're still connected to your old body in the other world.
And we hear screaming because, we've got a burner.
Oh my God.
Actually, he specifically says that the person who was screaming donated their body to science.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the grin on his face, oh my God.
Oh my God, this is so fucked up.
And then you realize the horror that the first thing he asked Danny was, are you being cremated?
Yeah, and he didn't know, but he said maybe, and he says, yeah.
His father was a burner then.
So, if you can imagine the pain of that, it's not worth thinking about.
Which,
Yes.
here it does not matter what you believe is in the afterlife. Maybe you believe in heaven and hell. Maybe you believe in reincarnation. Maybe you believe that there's nothing after it. But this is one of those takes that does exist in the real world, and it is horrifying.
Yeah.
Absolute existential horror. Just Jesus.
It's the idea of being trapped in your body. Well, in this case, essentially in your body, because their minds are uploaded to whatever. But the whole idea of being trapped and being able to feel everything and not be able to tell everybody. Uh, I'm gonna get a little real here, but not too real.
Uh-huh.
So you two might know that here in America, we do still have the death penalty in many areas.
Yeah.
When it comes to the death penalty, there's usually the most common one is the injection, right?
Yeah, okay. So far.
There are 3 parts to the injection, and I might get the logistics completely wrong, so I'm just going to say one of the first parts, first 2 parts is essentially this these 2 drugs which they numb the body and they put the person out so that they can't feel the third one, which essentially induces cardiac arrest.
Oh.
Sometimes the first 2 parts fail.
Yep.
And there have been people who have been paralyzed but still conscious, and they have described the third drug as feeling like fire going through your veins. That is sort of existential horror that we're having here. You can't move, you can't talk, you can't give anybody any indication that you're still able to feel everything that's happening.
I thought of an implication of this. I don't even know if I want to fucking share it. But that's
So have fun sleeping tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
I say I thought of something about this too, but honestly, it's almost too dark. Like, okay, feel free to cut this if you want. But,
Yeah, because if need be, we could just cut this.
I will leave it to my discretion, but go ahead.
If you're conscious, imagine your funeral. You're lying there, and your loved ones are just like, "Why did you have to die? I can't believe you're gone." And you're just sitting there watching them weep over you, and you can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to get really dark?
Oh God, what?
Imagine being buried.
Oh God! Jesus.
Welcome to the Waking Nightmares podcast. Jesus Christ!
It's my vindication, everybody.
Oh!
Have fun sleeping tonight.
Oh! I don't think I will now.
See, this is why I personally don't like to believe in ghosts, because the horror of having someone trapped inside their body is one thing. Having them trapped outside their body, unable to interact with anything, seems worse to me.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it's like, that's why I kind of prefer horror movies that have a ghost or spirit as the evil thing, because at the very least, then they could do something. When you're just a ghost wandering around your house, there's nothing you can do. It's like people could move in and change everything or destroy the place, and you're still wandering around in that one central area, following the same path that you did.
Beetlejuice!
Yeah.
That's literally what happens in Beetlejuice.
Yep. It's just without Lydia being there, able to see them.
Yeah.
So, I think we need to move on pretty quickly.
So now that the existential horror is done, let's move on to something else.
Oh, hey, Clara's calling the afterlife.
Yeah, she was being scanned telepathically for the minute she came in. Also, there is a slight bit of comedy to break up the tension somewhat. Dr. Chan wonders who they are and how did they get in, and so the doctor just gives him the psychic paper, and he says, "Government inspector says, what's all this swearing? I have a lot of internalized anger."
Is that a thick of a joke?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Because
and you know what the best part is? We're going to move on from this existential horror also to body horror.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the doctor is the doctor and Chang have to check something out. I forget exactly the sequence of events, but I get, or they decide to leave Clara alone with Danny.
I
who's on
remember
the
what
phone.
it is. I remember
Yeah.
what it is.
Go
So,
ahead, what's going on?
because just before this happened, I made sure to watch the episodes again, just so I could be sure to be in the right headspace. Big mistake, but you know.
No.
So, what happened is that while they're trying to get Danny on the line, we come back to Missy, and Missy can actually hear everything that they're saying. I assume that the doctor Chang, switched on a intercom or something like that, so she could hear. And at one point, she I want to say she just raises her hands and claps, or she
Yeah.
may have snapped at that point.
She
I
claps.
forget exactly which one she does.
She claps
right
like
after she
flamenco.
claps.
Yeah.
And the skeletons stand up,
Oh, fun.
including the one inside the office where they are.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
And so, they're talking and doing their thing. And you can see in the background the skeleton behind them slowly stand up, and it's really creepy and terrifying. And then at a point she snaps her fingers, and the skeletons reach over and push a button, and the water starts draining.
Oh, fun.
And the
And
button is
around
not
this
rest in
point,
peace.
that's where... Well, around this point, this is where Danny finally gets on the line, and the doctor is immediately like, don't trust him. If they were because this whole time they were using a telepathic module, whatever, to read Clara's mind. So he was like, if they were reading your mind, it could be faked. Ask him questions that only the real Danny would know. And he wants to go and look around the facility to try to figure out what's going on, because why would someone want to gather up all these dead people and leave them inside of tanks?
He's missing something obvious.
Oh
And this
my
is where
God.
we get the reveal scene.
This is so
The
good.
shot.
This amazing.
Just look at the screen.
Yeah.
You know.
The
The door's
doors.
shut. The door's shut behind the doctor, and we see 2 instances of the 3W logo, and now we realize exactly what that circle with a little circle in the corner represents when you pair it together.
It's the eyes of a Cyberman.
And they play
It's
the
the
Cyberman.
Cybermen!
They play the Cyberman sting as it closes.
There's your Murray Gold.
Da, 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 da.
And the doctor and Dr. Chang find this, and it's like, wait, holy shit, this isn't supposed to be happening. And
Why are they
here
standing
co-
up?
Why are they standing up? Yeah.
It's
Why
just
are
that
they-
Chang is panicking because
it's
the
a
tanks have
little funny.
activated.
Yeah, it's a little funny because Dr. Chang's like, the tanks are activated. Why are they draining? They should be doing this. And Doctor's like, the dead are standing up. It's like, yeah.
I think you missed. I think you missed
So-
the headline here, Dr. Chang.
And then Missy comes out, and the doctor's like, get your droid in control. That's not a droid, that's my boss. Oh, Dr. Chang, say something nice.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Say something nice. And they go to this whole thing. Are you gonna kill me? You can't kill me. Now, don't fuss about it. You're the one who's gonna have to die. I'm the one who's gonna have to live and never see you again. This is the last time we're ever going to talk. So
Yes.
say something nice. I won't kill you unless you say something.
I've got all
nice.
day, and I won't kill you until you say something nice.
And so Dr. Chang says something nice.
And Missy replies back to him,
お前はもう死んでいる。
How long you had that planned? That was
I upgraded my soundboard, motherfuckers.
that was perfect. That's the best.
Nani?
That's the best soundboard news. Yeah,
That's incredible. So yeah, Dr. Chang is obliterated.
he's vaporized, and more horror here. Dr. Chang knows what's going on with the afterlife, so when he's begging not to be killed, he doesn't want to be part of it. And that's why he's begging.
Well, technically, he wouldn't be part of it anyways, but he doesn't know that because he gets disintegrated.
He doesn't know that, no, because he doesn't know the truth about what's going on. But he believes that when he dies, he's going to still feel it.
Be uploaded and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not good. But then, we don't have time to dwell on that because as Missy's getting emotional for a moment, the tanks are draining, and here are the Cybermen. Those skeletons...
Oh, the reveal! Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the skeletons
So-
were Cybermen this whole time.
So at this point, we've gone from like 0 to 100 with the reveals just keep coming and coming and coming, just like. So let's just shotgun through this real quick. The doctor sees this thing, the big spear hanging above the center of the room, and it's just like, that's a Gallifreyan hard drive for up, and you've been uploading dead minds and then editing them to suit the Cybermen's purpose. But why? And Missy gets
really, he asks how she was able to get a hold of that technology first.
Yeah, and he realizes, you felt my hearts, didn't you? My heart's beat for the doctor. You're a time lady. And I want to mention the dialogue here on transmission in 2014 almost makes it sound like it could be an evil version of Romana.
Oh God,
I'm
yes.
I'm the one you left for dead. You left me there all those years ago, which could just as easily apply to, I've been stuck in E-space and now I'm bitter.
Missy could have been any of the time they met up to this point, or one we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
She isn't, and thank God she isn't.
But it's even better. It's even better.
But
before that, we get this heartbreaking scene where Danny's trying to convince Clara that it's really him.
Oh
but
my
Clara
God.
Clara is kind of convinced, and she's like, I want to come where you are. Danny's like, no, you can't come here. That means you die.
Well, she's not fully convinced because she did take the doctor's words to heart, and she's practically demanding that he tell her something that only Danny would know.
Yeah.
And Danny has no idea what to say except "I love you" over and over again.
Yeah, and because I'm sorry, anyone can say that. That's not convincing enough.
To which Clara says, "If you don't stop saying I love you, I'm going to switch this off."
But also,
and unfortunately, he does.
There is sort of the reading that I had where he thinks that she might kill herself to come to him.
Yeah, he says there's only one way you can come here. You are not doing that.
Yeah.
And so he willingly lets her go, knowing that she'll hang up if he keeps saying "I love you," and he lets her go. And he starts, he's predictably crying because it's pretty traumatic. And here's Seb. Couldn't help but notice how sad you are. Lucky there's an app for that to get rid of those pesky emotions.
Oh God! At one point he name drops Steve Jobs.
He sure does.
You have iPads in the afterlife. iPads. We have Steve Jobs. Now, when did Jobs die?
You have Wi-Fi in the afterlife.
When did Steve Jobs die? Let's look that up.
I hope it was a bit before this.
2011. He was dead.
All right, fair enough, but still a bit
soon.
Still a bit soon, yeah.
And then we get, of course,
it was 3 years. I think.
Then we get the end of the episode.
Oh my God! So the dialogue here is perfect throughout, but
the Doctor and Missy run out, and wait, we're not on some alien planet. It's St. Paul's Cathedral. We're in London.
You've missed the best line though.
Go on.
Oh, Clara, I should shoot you with a jealous rage now. Wouldn't that be sexy? I've turned off the lift. I presume you have stairs. Well, I'm not a Dalek.
I love Missy so much.
So the Doctor's running around outside St. Paul's. He's like, everybody run! It's coming. And Missy's just like, oh, don't worry about the angry Scotsman yelling in the streets. I didn't even know there was a match on today.
Kat gushed about the reveal of the Cybermen. Can I gush about how they emerged from the tanks?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Again, I'm sorry, but musical score perfect for this bit. The tanks open, they march out down the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral. The Doctor's there, genuine panic in his voice for the first time since he regenerated.
By the way, this is an iconic recreation of a shot from a second Doctor Cyberman story we've not covered yet.
Yeah, the invasion.
Yep.
Yes. And then we get the big reveal. Shock of shockers. I'm Missy, short for mistress. Couldn't well keep calling myself the master now, could we?
And Capaldi's face.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Not as good as Fist of the North Star, but still pretty good.
Still very good.
Yeah, Capaldi's face when it's revealed is just perfect. It's first like disbelief and then shock when he realizes she's telling the truth. And
I do need to focus on the last shot of the episode, which is not the Doctor's shock, but Danny crying in the afterlife, ready to hit that delete button. And what do we see in the tablet? The
little boy.
reflection of the kid?
Yeah.
That's a mirror. So that was Dark Water.
Oh my
that
god.
was part 1.
That's part 1, yeah. And it only gets harder
Better?
than that.
It only gets crazier
It
from here.
goes
We should
harder from
probably
here.
also mention that by the end of the episode, Clara is trapped inside of Chang's office with the Cyberman that was in there, so
Yeah.
she's kind of fucked too.
Dr. Scarosa.
That's
Yeah.
a cliffhanger, all right.
Yeah. Can I just point out that this is a 4-part structure to this cliffhanger? You've got Danny in the afterlife. You've got the Cybermen emerging from the tanks and marching down the steps of St. Paul's. You've got Clara stuck in the office with the Cybermen around her. And you've got Missy being revealed as the Master.
Yep.
And that structure will be repeated for All World Enough in Time.
Oh, hell yeah. Moffat knows how to layer those cliffhangers.
It doesn't
I'm
happen
sorry,
in Heaven Sent.
repeated? Or do you mean something else?
That will be mirrored by World Enough in Time.
There you
He
go.
said it!
I've said it 3 times already.
No,
I hate you
yeah.
all right now.
Yes. But
Listen,
I also want to
I'm
talk
just
about a
gonna
bit
pull
behind
you.
the scenes with Missy.
I know what you're going to talk
So
about.
at the
You can say
time, I recall you, and I did not listen to our old reviews before doing this, but I
Right.
recall you being quite critical of how easy Missy Mistress Master was,
it.
and how it was a bit of a false move. But to film that scene, to stop that huge secret from leaking out, because massive moment, first time that a Time Lord has changed gender on screen. To stop that from leaking out, I'll just get the dialogue. I'll just get the transcript here. They shot another version of the Missy reveal, and when Peter Capaldi asks, "Who's Missy?" and just bear with me here. Where is it?
She calls herself a Ronnie or some shit.
That's exactly what she does. So,
Oh my god.
she. This was a fake out. This was to stop. If it did leak out, then it was a fake.
You say I called this a false move in 2014?
I think you called it a false move. Yeah.
Excuse me for a moment. That I sent back in time to 2014 into the back of my fucking head.
Okay. Here it is. At the Royal Television Society, Stephen Moffat revealed a decoy version of Missy's reveal the episode was shot in case any members of the public overheard. He says, "You know who I am. I'm Missy. Or, if you prefer, Random Access Neural Integrator. Rani for short."
So, I will say, I think my objection at the time was that this was the solution to the puzzle box, which was obvious, the mysterious woman is actually the Missy the Master, or whatever. Oh, how but
Yeah, I think there were a bunch of people who got it before this episode was even close to
I
being
was one of them.
Okay, I will say 2 things here in the modern day to debunk that at the time. 1, that's bullshit. 2,
bullshit.
it doesn't fucking matter because of 2 simple little words. Michelle Gomez.
Yeah.
Yes.
She fucking nails it every
You want hot
goddamn
takes?
time during the
Do you want hot
Capaldi era.
takes? Best master since Delgado.
Yes.
You want hot takes? Best master.
Yes.
I mean, she and Delgado and Sim are very, very, very good in different ways.
No, see, Rainiac, the answer you're looking for is yes.
Yeah, all right.
Well, 1 down, 1 to go.
Right, so that's Dark Water done. Now for Death in Heaven. Strap yourself in, kids.
May I? Oh, may I?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you
this
have the
is your
floor.
moment, Frez.
So we open on perhaps the greatest bit of trolling Stephen Moffat has ever done. As you mentioned, one of the layers of this cliffhanger from Dark Water was that Clara was being threatened by a Cyberman. And that's where we cut to at the beginning of Death in Heaven. There's a Cyberman, got the gun pointed, do. And Clara's just like, wait, you can't shoot me. The Cyberman's like, incorrect, I can shoot you. No, I'm more valuable alive than dead. I'm a valuable target for information. You are Clara Oswald. You are human. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nope, that's what I want you to think. I'm not Clara Oswald. Clara Oswald has never existed. I'm the Doctor. And to further this outlandish claim, Jenna Coleman gets top billing during the credits, and instead of Peter Capaldi's eyes flashing across the screen in the opening, it's Jenna Coleman's eyes.
Beautiful. Mwah. Beautiful.
It's so good.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh,
Like, holy fuck.
Top bounce, as they say.
You if anything ever cemented that whole idea, that the Doctor and Clara are equal, this right here.
yeah.
Her and this is just a ploy to keep herself alive. Even that has meta-narrative consequences that put her in the goddamn credits because she's the Doctor's equal.
So how long would you say the cold open is? Like a minute, maybe 2 minutes?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So what we can say is that Moffat did a better female Doctor in 2 minutes than Chibnall did with 2 series.
Oh, big oof.
Just saying.
I mean, it's not the first time.
Also, kind of funny how everybody accepted Missy, becoming the mistress, but not the Doctor becoming a female Doctor.
Well,
Interesting.
not everyone did.
Yeah, but they weren't as loud as these people.
There were plenty of people that objected to the Master suddenly being a woman, and to those people I say,
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah.
We really need that on the soundboard.
I can
Oh,
set it
it'll be there
again.
soon.
I can
It'll
set it
be
again.
there
later.
soon.
So after the credits, we've got Cybermen in London around St. Paul's, and everybody's just taking selfies with them. Oh, cool! Neat robots. What's the publicity stand here? Okay. Hey, get a snap of us. Click, click.
Hey, this is the kind of thing that should have happened in Resolution of the Daleks.
Oh my god.
It's people just walking up to them and taking pictures and having fun. It's like, if we had that, it would be a little bit better. But it's not.
It's been
so.
6 months and I've still not over the extra that dramatically walks into the Daleks just to get shot.
Oh, died.
He wanted his 5 seconds of fame, that guy, so badly.
Everyone's taking selfies. The Doctor's like, "Oh no, everybody, you gotta get away! You gotta get away!" And then, oh hey, who's that with the nice bow tie walking up? Haven't I seen him somewhere before?
Can I just say before we talk about that, I love when Missy takes out her hat pin, takes her hat off, throws it on the ground, and says, a pound for the man in silver."
Yeah.
Yeah, a pound for a picture with the metal man. That's so good. And but yeah, hey, who is that nice bow tie person walking up to us?
It's my favorite. It's Osgood.
I thought your favourite
Hello,
was Missy.
Osgood.
And you know what? Bow ties are cool.
Both sides are cool.
And then all the people who were taking selfies just pull out fucking guns. They were all unit.
Yeah. And
Bow
that's...
ties are cool. And you know what else is cool? Back to the 11th Hour by Kristen Teague. Available now on Amazon.
That is a very cool book.
God, when she gets to... Well, she
It's
won't
like,
get to this, but...
as soon as I remembered that Osgood says bow ties are cool, I knew I had to tie that in. I just knew I had to.
Tie that in.
That is Krista's bread and butter right there.
Indeed, indeed.
So, Unit have placed Missy under arrest.
Yay!
And the leader of Unit
I like this.
is somebody we've met before.
It's
Kate
And,
Leffler Stewart.
created by Chris Chibnall.
Yes.
Wow, it's almost like if you take a character, put it in some competent hands, rather than the hands of an idiot, it turns out a lot better.
Did Chris Chibnall actually create her, or did Moffat?
No, she debuted in the Cube one.
She debuted in it, but did he create the character, or did Moffat put her in it?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm assuming Chibnall created the character.
I think it'd be Moffat because she's appeared in a lot of Moffat stories.
Maybe.
But yeah, Kate's great, and Kate gets a quietly badass moment here.
Oh, go ahead.
Where she doesn't introduce herself to Missy, because she's already like at gunpoint and under arrest. She introduces herself to the Cybermen.
Yes.
And says, the Cybermen's like taunting her and saying, your human technology is insignificant. It cannot match cyber technology. And Kate says, is that so? And then throws down her head, a Cyberman head.
It's like a 60s Cyberman design head.
Yeah, and that was the last attempt to conquer Earth.
Which, considering what we'll find out later, it's a little weird that she had that on hand, but okay.
She pulled it out of hammer space, it's fine. But the Cybermen respond to her threat by blasting off again.
So they blast off, and as Osgood notes, there was a guy...
Not even just that. She also points out, she stands next to the doctor and says, we have him on the payroll. He's like, really? How much?
Yes.
We'll talk later. But yeah, the Cybermen rocket off, and Osgood counts that there are 91 Cybermen.
Yeah, the roof of St. Paul's opens, and the more Cybermen fly out.
I'm really glad that I read this or watched this again before this, because you guys are getting so much wrong.
No, Osgood does not count 91. She counts 87.
Yeah, she counts like 87, and then Missy, Osgood's like, I count 87, and she, Kate looks at her, and she's like, OCD, and then Missy chimes up 91.
Okay.
Mistress of Evil.
Queen of Evil, yeah.
Queen of Evil.
So, 91, what's the significance of that number?
That is the number of densely populated areas of the British Isles.
Dun, dun, dun.
How did the Cybermen just explode?
Well, that's an interesting invasion plan.
They just explode. You hear them all explode overhead, and it's raining.
It's raining, man.
It's raining pollen.
It's raining Cybermen.
Oh my god. How did I walk you straight into that? Jesus.
I was hoping one of you would say that.
Thank you.
Jesus. And I'm not talking about the Manchester City footballer. Oh.
This isn't actually rain, though. What is it?
No, I'm rain. What are we talking about? Oh, right. No, you mean the story. It's cyber pollen.
Yay! How fun! It's not like I'm already in the throes of being horribly seized right now because of regular pollen. Now we have cyber pollen.
We then cut back to, we can call it now, the Neversphere, the afterlife.
Also, fuck pollen. Just saying.
And we get a little scene here where Sebzit Titan says, we're all going home. We're returning to our bodies, and the good news is there's been a bit of an upgrade. And what is it he says? You should think of this place as a data cloud for storing recently deceased minds. Yeah, that'll pay off later as well.
Oh, yeah.
Back at St. Paul's then, Kate just doesn't give a damn. Missy is sedated.
And so is the doctor.
The doctor is sedated.
And everybody's like, what?
He does get a lot. He gets one last warning to her before he passes out. He goes, guard the graveyards, and then he passes out.
And as we see, it's the cloud cover continues to expand. It gets dark and stormy, but the rain is centered entirely on the graveyards.
Yeah, just the graveyards.
And then we get a fun little Easter egg of sorts where you see the rain, the cyber pollen rain or whatever. It's slowly oozing along and whatnot, and it ends up in a funeral home, the Chaplet Funeral Home.
Yeah.
Which we haven't covered this character yet because she's in so few stories, but the first Dr. William Hartnell had a companion named Dodo Chaplet.
Yeah.
So.
You have a weird basis for fun Easter eggs, I have to say.
I know, right?
She only
But
shows up in two serials. Her last was the War Machines, or as Pip Madeley called it, Getting Shot of Dodo.
It was a five serials, 3 of which you can watch right now.
Oh, she's in 5, but you can only watch 3 of them.
Yeah, because 2 of them are missing.
But you can watch a departure, I believe.
You can, yeah, that exists.
So what you're saying is that's on the table.
Yeah, that'd be on the table, definitely.
Is her introduction on the table, or is that gone?
Her introduction is gone, and her first story is you don't want to do that.
Oh!
Why?
No, he's right. Forgot she was in that. Yeah.
Why?
And then her other story is missing except for one part, and we don't want to do that.
I'm just going to type it out.
Yeah, please let me know why. I don't know what happens in that, so just typing out the name is nothing to me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
There's a reason why I'm
Well,
still...
it's a topic we've covered before on here, so...
Not like this, you haven't. Not like this. Oh, I forgot she was in that too. Jesus Christ.
Yep. just a whole bunch of stuff.
So basically,
happening
Dodo
in
was the worst companion ever because of the story she's in.
Well, I think she's fine.
I'm being
It's just the
facetious.
stories.
I'm being facetious.
I know.
Honestly, if anything, her mother or father are the worst people ever because they named her Dodo.
Well, it's a nickname.
Whoever nicknamed her Dodo is the worst person ever.
It might be gone now, sadly, because unfortunately, Pip Madeley's Twitter account was heavily hit by DMCA at the weekend.
I know exactly the clip you're talking.
But it's getting shot of Dodo. She just enters the TARDIS leaves without her, and that's the end of the story.
It's a slightly better end for Dodo than what actually happens.
That's the sad thing. It is. It is.
But we're getting way off topic. With
I was going to say, you guys are talking about something I have no idea about. The audience probably has no idea about.
It's a neat Easter egg. I'll just go with that. Anyway, at the
funeral home, this guy in the morgue is just watching TV, and it's like, oh, there's weird shit going on in the graveyards. And all of a sudden,
back to work.
All of a sudden, the water gets into the morgue, and people in, like, I guess the refrigerators, I don't know what you'd call them, just for storing the bodies, they start to knock, and then one of the bodies gets up and it's a Cyberman, so this guy just gets the fuck out.
Oh, damn it. You know what I should have had? I should have tried to get something, like a sound clip or something from that one scene from Danganronpa.
Oh.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I don't remember the scene you're talking
about.
You're gonna have to type it out for me again.
No.
I'm probably gonna say, oh no. I don't remember this, honestly.
Chapter 5, Chapter 6.
Chapter 5, Chapter 6. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
That one. Yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah, there you go. But moving on to away from shit that nobody knows what the fuck
If you can get Kyoko's voice line from that on your soundboard, you have my full permission to use it whenever you want to.
Anyway, hey, here's some on-brand bullshit. This Cyberman on the slab wakes up, takes off, pulls away the sheet, and what happens? This Cyberman sees himself in her.
Cool. So then he gets up and he's, acting not like a Cyberman at all. And you kind of figure out who he is when he walks over to a clipboard. And on that clipboard is the name Danny Pink.
Yep.
It's Danny. It's Cyber Danny.
And if anybody remembers, it was still kind of up in the air if he deleted his emotions or not, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He never actually pressed the button in the cliffhanger. He was hovering over it when we saw the child.
Meanwhile, the doctor's woken up and is pretty upset. He and Kate get on a great big plane.
Boat 1.
Ooh.
Not a great name, but...
Yeah. And you want to take this? One of you want to take this fun bit?
Oh, is this the doctor's new job? Yeah, I'll take this.
Good.
Congratulations on your new job, Doctor. Clara is pregnant! No! No.
What?
The Simpsons.
What the fuck?
Oh God.
Oh, sorry. No, I got that wrong. River's pregnant! No! That's slightly better than Clara. Sorry.
One eternity later.
Shit!
I deserve
Now
that.
we got audio versions of a meme for everything.
I deserve that. But yeah, so the Doctor is understandably not happy about what's happened. Kate is on the phone. She says the president's on board, and the Doctor starts talking about the Americans then useless. And that's a little bit
Doctor?
of political humour.
No comment.
I mean, it's true, so you
We
know.
also meet this unit colonel, Colonel Ahmed, who the Doctor refers to as Man Scout.
God.
But this is the fun part where Kate tells the Doctor that what they did was all the world leaders got together in order to be able to elect a specific person to be the president of the entire world.
Yeah, President of Earth, not President of America.
And really, they only had one candidate. And of course, the Doctor assumes it's an idiot, and of course it's an idiot. It just happens to be an idiot with a blue box.
Doctor Who, you
Shit.
are the father.
President.
Doctor Who, you are the president.
So he's the president of Earth. Back
Wow.
with Clara. And this is really funny in hindsight. So Clara is still explaining to the Cybermen how she's actually the Doctor. You know, I was an ancient Gallifreyan, but I was a Gallifreyan, but I stole a TARDIS and I ran away from the Prydonian chapter to explore time and space. And I'm just sitting here thinking, did she also say, and then I fell off a cliff and my adopted mom, Tecteun, saw me regenerate and decided, holy fuck, I gotta get in on that sweet action. So she experimented on me for 6 more
Don't you
lives.
even start. That's in the special edition coming in 5 years' time. But
That's the Ian Levine cut. That's the Ian Levine cut.
I heard that cat.
You're gonna. I didn't hear that.
Play it
one.
again.
I was- What? What?
You can't see the face I'm making right now.
What? The fuck?
So
Why
we've been gotten. She originally played "Fuck This Shit About."
God.
And then tell them what I did after that, Rainier.
When I asked him to play it again, she rickrolled us.
Yeah. Oh, so
Cat's
yeah.
quite ready to see a
Feel free to cut
soundboard
that out
again,
if
so
you need
that's
to.
interesting. So
fun fact, everybody: Ian Levine is working on a special edition cut of Dimensions in Time.
what, for real?
For real.
Cat?
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
God,
So-
Jenna
oh,
Coleman,
so-
myself, and Ian Levine all went to the same school. I shudder to think.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Oh yeah, but in actual things that are referenced, a little bit of a deep cut. Clara even references Jenny, the Doctor's daughter.
Yeah.
So that's
and
wild. and then-
grandchildren, too.
And grandchildren, you know, Susan. Yeah.
John and
And
Jillian.
then, did she really mention John and Jillian? Did I miss that?
No, but that's the implication. Grandchildren.
Oh yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, that'd be a Moffat thing to do, reference to John and Jillian.
That would be such a muffin thing to do.
I'm not even going to get into what that is, but let's just talk about the other Cyberman that comes in. And Clara's just like, no, I'm the Doctor, really. You're Clara Oswald. You are human, born November 23rd, 1986. I picked that date. I always liked it.
Yeah.
Look, you ask anybody I know, I'm an incredible liar. And the Cyberman just came in, just looks down sadly, and just goes, correct.
And then knocks her unconscious.
And zaps her unconscious and then blows up the other Cybermen.
Yeah, the other Cybermen have noticed that this one is not under control. He's not under control because he's Denny.
Yep.
His hand is still clutching the piece of paper with Denny's name on it, so this is Denny.
And I just need to throw this out there. I don't really have a good time to say it. Just anywhere else. I will say that when I first watched this again for the thing, I declared that this was the best Cyberman story the show's ever done. Now, its only competition is something I overlooked, which is another Capaldi Cyberman story, World Enough in Time the Doctor Falls. Because I think you'll agree, at their heart, they both do two things very well. They, A, focus on the definite body horror aspect of the Cybermen, and B, they have a lot more going on than just, and then the big robots come and get you and shoot somebody.
You forgot one.
First shot.
You forgot C, include Missy.
Yeah,
Including, yes. That's also very coincidental. Yes.
I've just realised that 3 different series have now ended with the Master and the Cybermen.
Yeah.
Also,
Look at,
I just read something that's actually pretty fun. Do you guys remember when we reviewed Pyramids of Mars?
Vaguely?
Yeah?
And we said that, and there was like a goof where there was a hand on the chair.
And it was Clara, yeah?
Yeah.
Fun fact, that was actually the first serial where they said what constellation that Gallifrey was in.
Oh, neat.
Cerberus.
Yes. At galactic coordinates 10, 0, 11, 0, colon 2.
Oh, wow.
That was the first time they ever mentioned that. And it's kind of funny because we also thought that the hand was Clara, or we headcanoned that the hand was Clara.
I mean, that was a little joke running around, but yeah, we had to mention it.
Anyway, we get a fun scene now where the Doctor gets to confront Missy.
Oh, this is great.
Because the Doctor has woken up from being sedated. Missy is still strapped to this board.
And Kat gave us the timely reference. She casually mentioned she knows where Gallifrey is.
Yeah,
Yes.
she does.
And she's like, you know what the best part about knowing where Gallifrey is
Not telling
you.
Mm-hmm.
And Capaldi gets a great line here where he says, "Remember all those times you tried to conquer the Earth? Look at me. I'm the boss. Easy as pie."
Yeah, because the intercom calls for him, asks him to come back up, and he just turns to her and said, "Remember all those times you tried to take over the Earth? I'm coming."
Yeah.
And then he just gives her 2 fingers and walks out.
Well, he doesn't give her
moonwalking.
2 fingers. He wouldn't be able to do that in a kid's show, but...
Before that, he has a conversation
He was doing it in his mind.
Yeah. Before that, he has a conversation with Osgood, and Osgood's like, "So, Missy, friend of yours?" Well, it would take a long time to explain. Really? Because I sort of assumed that she was another incarnation of the Master, regenerated in the female form. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Doctor's impressed, and he's like, "Hey, well, now this is over. Anywhere in time and space? Hooray! It's great."
No, not hooray, because this does give Missy something to use.
Oh, God, don't. But,
No, we're gonna have to, and as much as I don't want
I know
to,
we are, but let's not
gonna
get to
have
that
to.
just yet. So, Clara has woken up in a graveyard.
And Cybermen are bursting out. It's full on, like, Night of the Living Dead at this point.
Yeah.
Which, great use of the Cybermen as body horror. I will say that. So
There are some horrifying implications for this as well, which we'll get to later. But,
yeah.
horrifying implications in this story.
Especially since as soon as the Cybermen come out, they're not doing anything. They are wandering around literally like lost souls, and it's horrifying.
yeah, aimlessly.
Yeah. And as the Doctor and co explain on the plane, the Cyberpollen gets into the coffins, and every part of a Cyberman contains the plans to make a Cyberman. So if a little bit of this stuff gets on a dead body, bam, full conversion.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
even means that now they can convert children, which they couldn't do before.
Oh, fun.
They were too small for a typical conversion. They were only used as cyber planners. Not a problem anymore. And just a little bit where the Doctor sees Missy on the monitor and she's sticking her tongue out.
Beautiful. And here's another bit of Moffat kind of doing his weird thing. He did this also with the whole Silence arc, but the Doctor's theorizing, and he says, "Oh, Missy's grand scheme: exploit the rich and exploit their fear of dying, so that she had an army of Cybermen ready to try and take over the world." And he kind of makes the implication that Missy used time travel to do this, such that, it's like, how long has she been doing this? Well, how long has the human race had the concept of an afterlife?
Oh, it's even worse than that, because Kate sits up straighter once she hears that that Missy's able to do this, and she's like, "How long have she been able to do this?" Because she realizes her father could also be converted.
This is the horrifying thing. Any character that the Doctor has lost on Earth could potentially be a Cyberman now. Amy and Rory could be Cybermen right now.
Plus, it's not even just the fact that they're hitting cemeteries, because the water is also heading to other places like funeral homes and places that you wouldn't normally find dead people. So how many people are there who got caught up in certain world wars or wars of any kind and never had a proper burial?
Yeah.
As the Doctor says to Colonel Armand, he says, "Throw away your guns, man scout. How can you defeat an army that can recruit the dead?"
So there might be the implication, I'm not sure on this with the exact lining, that Missy invented the concept of the afterlife in human history for this scheme.
That's a bit of a reach. She certainly exploited it.
Exploited it. I don't know if that's what Moffat's
She
going
definitely created the whole myth of the 3 words.
Yeah, she definitely made that much of it. But yeah, that would fit in with Moffat's sort of trend, with the silence and the spacesuit thing influencing all of human history.
And
stuff
since we
like
brought
that.
up the Rich, I'll just briefly mention this. There is a series of stories called the Missy Chronicles, focusing on adventures that Missy has away from the Doctor. And one of them's a prequel to Dark Water, where she goes to a place called the Scoundrels Club, where she's always gone to after she regenerates to recuperate.
Yeah.
But the club is a non-woman zone.
Oh.
So they throw her out because she can't convince them she used to be a man. And in revenge, she kills all the members and turns them into Cybermen.
Good.
She marries one of them. She drugs one of them, marries him, and then kills him so she inherits his money.
Oh.
It's just wicked.
Oh, this is
delightfully wicked. And the
this
last one
seems
left
like
is
a dark banger.
the last one left is Dr. Scarosa, who is paralyzed, and she pushes him into a fire.
Wow.
She is devil incarnate. It's amazing.
And then we get scenes.
Awesome as hell.
I may have to look in this book. Then we get scenes like the next one, where this is iconic. We have Missy all chained up, and she's humming to herself, and she's humming
Mickey,
this.
You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Missy.
Yeah, she's humming Mickey by Tony Basil, except she's changed Mickey to Missy.
Adlib.
And then she starts talking to Osgood. I've got a secret to tell you. Come closer. Come closer, just between us.
And then absolutely nothing happens, but somehow Missy and the Doctor wind up outside the plane. Nothing happens there. Absolutely nothing. Certainly not the death of one of my favorite characters.
You're the one that said we had to talk about this.
Yeah.
I lied, just like Clara does.
Yeah. So the Mickey the Missy song, it wasn't quite an ad lib. She did it in rehearsal.
And Moffat liked
it. She thought the cameras had not started rolling yet. And it was so good they kept it in.
Beautiful.
I love it.
It's great.
I love it.
So Missy's secret she has to whisper to Osgood when she gets real close is, I'm gonna kill you. And
Yeah.
oh, would a big countdown help?
Best not
Would
tell
that
the boys,
help you?
though. This is our secret girl plan. Oh, my God.
Nick, would a countdown help? 20, 19, 18? And then she counts all the way down.
10.
4.
Yes, 10.
4?
4. I'm skipping for dramatic effect. Oh, what's that in your pocket? And Osgood reaches in and finds handcuffs. So we just see Missy put on a fresh coat of lipstick, just casually.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last review. Like, why were the guards so docile?
I don't know. She hypnotized them. Who knows?
Anyway,
Yeah, it's a little weird because, I mean, let's assume that they didn't see her slowly taking off her handcuffs. Fine, whatever. Maybe they weren't paying attention.
I do have a bit of a read on this.
I'm not done talking, sir.
Well, excuse me, princess. Go ahead.
You are very lucky. I almost took that as a sound clip. I almost did. But I thought it wouldn't fit. But as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted,
All right.
sir.
Yeah, Rain.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
It's fine if they didn't see her take off the handcuffs, but in a moment, she like essentially jump cuts herself to be behind Osgood, and it's a little weird that they didn't react to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
My take on it is the lipstick is important here.
I don't think it is because it's not like River's lipstick.
That's what
I think she was just doing it for dramatic
maybe
effect.
it was,
It's
but
like,
all right.
Look, my hands are free. I'm just going to apply some lipstick.
Yeah. The line
Either way,
is she pulls her handcuffs out of her pocket. Osgood does. She goes, "These aren't mine. Well, they must be mine then." And then she zaps the two guards, and she's got Osgood in a chokehold from behind.
She does make a pretty funny joke where she's like, "Oh, it's always the quiet ones."
Say something nice.
Osgood actually is trying to save her life here. She makes a really good argument.
No.
Yeah.
She says, "I promise."
Even Missy says it's a good argument.
Yeah, whatever you're planning to do, I promise you, I'm worth more to you alive.
That makes a lot of sense.
And she
but
says,
did I mention?
That's a good point, well made. Unfortunately for you, bananas, zap.
Bye, Osgood. Bye, Osgood.
Yeah, bye, Osgood. See you in the Zygon invasion.
One Osgood anyway.
Yeah,
I
now...
know, but still.
Since this is the end of Osgood for the time being, I have to bring this up, and I'm sorry.
And I have to complain about it, and I'm not sorry.
Big Finish fracked this up. Big Finish fracked this up big time because the whole point about the two Osgoods is you never knew which one was which, human or Zygon. That was the whole point.
The whole point of the Zygon invasion.
So when one of the Osgoods died, it didn't matter if it was the human or the Zygon. It was just that one Osgood was dead. The balance was broken.
Without saying what they said, I'm going to assume that they answered the question.
They answered the question.
Yeah.
Which Osgood got killed by Missy?
I didn't hear. I don't want to know which Osgood.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Moffat even says, well, sorry, the Osgoods, Moffat through the Osgoods even says this at the end of the Zygon inversion. One day I'll answer that question, Doctor. You know when I'll do that? When the answer doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's Peter Harns.
Sorry, yes. But,
he's still right. It's still right. That's the point.
Whoever the writer is, that's the whole point. And Big Finish, I love them. They've done some brilliant work. This was wrong.
Yeah, that's not a question that needed to be answered because the entire point was that you didn't need an answer to it.
The question
it's like
never
a
answered.
lot of people in media seem to really misunderstand this concept. That there are some questions you should answer and some questions you do not need to. I'm going to give some spoilers for the Solo movie. Do either of you care?
No.
I do not care. I think I know where you're going with
Not
this.
in the least.
Go ahead.
If anybody does care, either Rainiac will put in a timestamp or you can just skip ahead a few minutes and, wait. But in the Solo movie, there are two questions that they answer. One of them wasn't even a question, technically. The first one is that Han goes up to an Imperial officer, and the officer asks for his name, and he only says Han. He doesn't have a last name. So in response to that, the Imperial officer says, fine, you get the last name of Solo, because you're alone. Fuck you.
Finally, we know the secret.
No,
We
what?
didn't need to know any
Why?
of that, because all he had to do was be called Han Solo. That's all you need to do.
There are people
That's it.
called Solo in real life.
It's an
Exactly.
origin story. Lore!
The goalkeeper of the
Ew.
American women's football team was Hope Solo.
Number 2, the second big thing that
I
they
know
put
exactly.
in that
I
they
know.
didn't need to is they have him do the Kessel Run.
Of course they have him do the fucking Kessel Run. And of course they probably have something like, oh, is it a measurement of distance? Is it an actual, like, route? Oh, here it is. It's all explained out for you.
Pretty much, yeah. They explained the entire Kessel Run. And this is one of those things. The first one, fine, whatever. That didn't have a question to it. They made it up on the spot. It's stupid. I don't care. This one, you did not need to answer that question because nobody was asking what happened during it.
I
This
mean,
would
I
be
can
like-
do you one. I can do you one further with Star Wars talk of questions that don't even need to be answered with one fucking word: midichlorians.
Oh,
Yep.
this is like if they had shown the Nameless Horrors of the Time War on screen.
Yeah.
We didn't need to see that. Thankfully we didn't see that.
This is like if they gave a concrete origin story to the Doctor. Oh wait, fuck.
Yeah.
The whole point of the name. Do you remember the whole point of the Series 7 arc of the Doctor must not reveal his name. His name must never be mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
What his name isn't the important thing.
Exactly.
We don't need to know his name. Now her name, but at the time his name.
Their name.
The important thing was that their name, thank you, Kat, must never be mentioned because something terrible will happen. It didn't matter if there was, I don't know, Rumpelstiltskin. That wasn't the important point.
Exactly.
There comes a time, and I know that nobody from Hollywood or BBC or whoever are going to be listening to this, but there comes a time where there are questions that do not need to be answered. There comes a time where you have to stick to something and say, fuck the audience.
I wouldn't go as
And
strong as
those
that. but-
times, you have to have the balls to do it. You just have to.
You know something that Doctor Who did really well on this regard? That fucking bed sheet in Listen.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck that was, and that's the point.
Well,
Yep.
actually, now we do, but we shouldn't
What?
have done.
What? Wait, they explained the
They
bed
named the
sheet
thing that was set up on the bed, yeah.
No! Who named it? Who did this?
Not Big Finish this time.
Who the fuck?
I think it's in one of the TARDIS annuals. Let me just look it up.
No, for fuck's sakes.
No, don't look it up. It doesn't matter. It does not matter who said it. It doesn't matter what they said. None of that matters.
That's bullshit. Let me have one goddamn bit of ambiguity.
Okay,
There are times where
we're okay,
ambiguity
we're okay.
or
It's not
facing
specifically mentioned.
stuff is needed.
We're okay?
Good. Okay,
It's not
good.
specifically mentioned. There is a similar creature in a 10th Doctor prose story.
Okay.
It is never
That's
stated.
fine. Whatever.
It is never stated that it's the same thing. It's just because Moffat wrote the short story that it was involved in, and then wrote Listen.
Right.
But even he says he couldn't remember writing that story.
So, back to-
Either way, this is just what we're going to say is sometimes there are questions that should not be answered because they don't need an answer. They just do not.
Nope.
ambiguity can be good. It's
Yes.
just like I was saying last week with David Lynch movies and his
Yes.
take on you reading them, you know?
And this is a slight tangent, but I want to point this out because I never get to talk about this and it still pisses me off to this day. If you have a movie that is as close to whatever it is, the adaptation of, don't fucking change it. Just because of test audiences. I'm looking at you, I Am Legend, which I watched last night as well.
Oh, yeah,
Your original ending was fantastic, and then you changed it because of test audiences.
The only good thing I will
do that.
There is one thing I will thank test audiences for. They spared Jaws.
Who?
Jaws in James Bond.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shark.
Not the shark. In the original ending of Spy Who Loved Me, Jaws is killed by the shark.
I see.
The test audiences hated it.
Ironic.
They made a new ending where Jaws survived and killed the shark instead, and then turned up in Moonraker, which I don't thank them for, but the fact that Jaws survived was good.
So,
okay, fine. All I'm saying is, fuck the test audiences. Have the balls to put something out that won't please everybody. Keep some questions under wraps. Keep the original ending. Stop deviating. That's why, the Prince of Persia movie sucked so bad.
What a shock.
Yes.
All right, now the rant is over. Let's go back to Death and Heaven.
All I want to say is, have the balls to stick to your guns. Looking at you, Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Looking at you, Twilight.
Anyway, back to Death in Heaven. Missy does a thing, and there's Cybermen all over the plane. Uh-oh.
This is amazing. The Cybermen are flying.
Missy during this whole bit where she's just hanging on and swinging around, going wee.
She crushes those glasses beneath her feet. And then the Cybermen are flying up to the plane. One of them is level with the window, and oh, that's strange. The plane's still flying. No, it isn't. The Cybermen have stopped the engines and are flying it for them.
I do like how they give Capaldi a William Shatner moment.
There's a grandma.
There's a Cyberman on the plane.
Yeah. So from that we get to some more heartbreak. Clara's in the graveyard, Cybermen busting out of the graves, wandering around. But there's one Cyberman just standing there. And Clara approaches it. Did you bring me here? And the Cyberman wants to know about the doctor, and Clara goes into her whole thing about how she's loyal to the doctor. I like him. He's my best friend in all time and space, the best friend I'll ever have, and I won't ever betray him. He's the one person I will trust above all else. And she's saying it to Danny's face without realizing. And then he takes off the mask, and you can see his face, And the makeup is really good too. It's just the way his eyes just have those dark circles, and his skin is
his face has been mutilated by the conversion.
He's got
you know what she's trying to do. She's trying to appear strong in the face of something unknown, and she's trying to make it so that she won't that she's acting strong, but at the same time she's accidentally hurting Danny, and it's like, oh, my heart.
But she doesn't know it's Danny, so I will give her a pass here.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
That's why I said she's accidentally hurting Danny.
She wouldn't have done this, I think, if she'd known it was Danny.
Yeah, but once he takes off the mask, it's like, oh my god, Danny, it's you. And then the real heartbreak, Danny's just he's in so much pain because his emotional inhibitor, the Cyberman emotional inhibitor, is off, so he can feel fucking everything.
Yeah, so we have the answer. He didn't press the button.
And he's begging Clara to turn it on for him. To take
he's
the
in
pain
emotional
away.
pain and probably physical pain as well.
He's wishing, I think, he pressed the button, but he didn't press the button.
Yeah. So he's asking Clara to turn it on for him. Basically, is killing him all over again, as she'll say later. And, well, Clara just responds by calling up the doctor. And it's at this moment that Capaldi and Missy are confronting each other. And the TARDIS phone rings. It's Clara. And Missy's all, ring, ring. It's a call for the doctor. I wonder who gave you that number.
Yeah.
And, oh, holy shit. We're tying this arc together. Missy is the one who set the doctor and Clara up way back in the Bells of St. John.
Yeah, and also placed the advert in the newspaper in Deep Breath.
Now, yeah, so she put them together. Now, what was her plan there? Well, I have a lot of theories, I think it's twofold. The first is a reaction to the whole silence arc, so that Missy could save the Doctor from that immutable death, because Clara was one of the defining factors in reversing that whole fix. The Doctor has to die here bullshit.
Yeah.
And the other being Missy, she loved chaos. And the next series is all about how the Doctor and Clara's relationship will destroy time and make them both like dark figures. So Missy trying to bring the Doctor down to her level by giving him the perfect companion.
I have a third potential for you. So, remember that whole thing where the Doctor first met Clara? What was she called during that era?
The Impossible Girl.
What did she do during that era as well? She
jumped into the Doctor's time stream.
Who else was involved in the Doctor's time stream?
The Great Intelligence.
The Master.
What?
If it's possible for her to be seeing the Doctor hanging off the cliff in Dragonfire, isn't it possible at some point she met the Master?
Oh, I see your point.
Yes, that's very possible, considering all the Master adventures that were had, yes.
Isn't it also possible that at some point maybe she trusted the Master a little too much, not realizing who he was?
Oh.
And possibly told him some things in order to try and help the Doctor?
Well, I mean...
Oh, I like that reading.
Do the fragments know that much? Or I guess the fragments know that much? I'm not sure how it works.
Well, the fragments are all from the original Clara Prime, if you will.
Yeah. Right.
That's brilliant. I'm digging
it. I'm digging it.
Yeah. It's like all the Master has to do is just get this little hint of, I wonder what that was all about. And want to go look into it.
Yeah.
So the Doctor never noticed, but that doesn't mean that someone else involved in all these adventures wouldn't notice. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
That's good. But yeah, speaking of chaos, it's about to break out. But before that, we do get this wonderful scene between Missy and the Doctor. Clara's on the phone. She said, how do I turn on the emotional inhibitors? So, if you do that, he'll kill you. He's a Cyberman. He'll kill you. Clara doesn't believe him. She hangs up.
Oh, but I just need to highlight the line where Clara says, he's hurting because I hurt him.
Yes.
Oh, God, my heart.
Yeah.
And then all shit goes... She's going to turn on the thing, and she hangs up, or throws away the phone. She's like, homing on the signal. Either help me or leave me to do it myself. And all shit is breaking loose on the plane. The Cybermen are busting through the windows. The Man Scout gets sucked out. Kate Stewart's down in the hold trying to say, oh my God, everything's out of control. And then Missy blows Kate out and Kate falls to her death. Shit.
She even says to her, I like you. And then rather than shooting Kate directly, she shoots the section of the plane she's behind. And as you say, she gets sucked out to her doom.
Missy gets another great line where she's just like, boys, teleport me out of here. Blow up this plane and, I don't know, Belgium?
Somewhere over, I don't know, Belgium? Won't miss it.
Yeah, not even French.
Missy is so good.
And so the plane's blowing up, everything's out of control. The Doctor's falling to his doom, and Missy has teleported inside the Nether Sphere, and she and Seb are watching the Doctor fall. The Doctor falls.
Yeah, and Miss... Oh, very good. And Missy's like, well, that's just boring. He's just going to squish.
And then Seb...
It's kind of dramatic. Oh, you're an AI interface. Kind of delete your opinion. Thank you.
He's like, wait, no, he's not gonna. And then, Brainiac, I think you have to mention a certain someone.
We get the James Bond moment.
I think you have to mention a certain someone. A certain someone who may have contributed audibly.
I'm sorry, Murray Gold.
Yes, yeah. This is also a James Bond moment. You mentioned Moonraker. Well, this is
a proper James Bond moment. So
this
the Doctor's been blown out of the plane because it's exploded. The Cybermen have destroyed it. Everyone on board is dead. So the TARDIS has fallen out in the chaos. The Doctor has fallen out in the chaos. He's going to fall to his death. No, he isn't, because he skydives on top of the TARDIS.
I think he pulls out the TARDIS key and summons the TARDIS to him using it.
No, he gets inside of it.
He's
thought
holding something while he does this. I think it's the TARDIS.
It's the TARDIS key. He somehow controls his free fall to get inside the TARDIS, open the door, go inside, and dematerialize in time. And Seb,
Who wants to take this one?
I've got this one.
yeah, Cat, do
Go
it.
ahead.
So the whole time that the Doctor's falling and he starts, pulling out the key and directing himself and everything, Seb's like, no, he is not. And I think it's just before the Doctor is about to enter the TARDIS. Seb throws up his hand and goes, permission to scream!
Missy.
And then Missy disintegrates him.
Yes.
So the Doctor gets in the TARDIS and he heads off to that graveyard to stop Clara from turning Danny on and getting killed. And if he becomes a Cyberman, he'll kill you. He'll kill you stone dead. And Danny's all, no, I won't. No. And Clara says, no, he won't. No, I won't. They believe in each other. And the Doctor mentions that pain's a gift. Without it, we can't feel the hurt we inflict. So if without that, you'll just kill her. There has to be another way.
He's trying to get Danny to tell him what is the cloud's purpose.
And here's where Danny is, Danny didn't really like the Doctor much in life, and he's still critical of him, even in death, because he's like, now watch this, Clara, watch the officer in action. The only way I can find out what's up with that cloud is if you turn this thing on. And didn't all those wonderful speeches just vanish in the face of a tactical advantage?
Yeah.
You asshole.
Brilliant.
And it's like Clara asked for the sonic screwdriver so she could do it herself. And Danny's immediately like, yes, of course, the officer can't get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
This is also heartbreaking. She wants to be the one to do it, and she's just holding the screwdriver, and she's saying goodbye to Danny, and she says, I wasn't very good at it, but I did love you.
Watch him, Clara. Watch the blood-soaked general in action. Oh, what a line.
Yeah, so she says goodbye to Danny, and she activates the screwdriver and activates his inhibitor, and she immediately rushes to his side, and the Doctor's like, no, Clara, no. He doesn't do anything. He's connected to the Cyberman, like, hive mind, whatever. And he mentions, we can't be stopped, where the rain will fall and the dead will rise, all that shit. And here's Missy to gloat and get to the whole point.
Oh, not even just the dead rising. He also says there's going to be a second rainfall, which will convert all the living humans.
Yes.
Nasty.
Including Clara, of course.
And so Missy shows up, and the Doctor and her have a confrontation. All while Clara is just there, just hugging Danny
I'm
tightly.
sorry, Missy shows up does not do this justice. She comes in on her umbrella like Mary Poppins.
She's Mary Poppins, y'all. Yep. And she plays around with the Cybermen. She's just like, okay, boys, move left, move right, left, up and down, and just making them all do this shit. Whole bunch of, like, airplane steward impressions.
Yeah, what is it? The plan to have the army decimate entire planets. They make them do a safety briefing.
And then she's just like, happy birthday, Mr. President.
Yeah.
And slaps the bracelet on the Doctor's arm. This is her gift to him.
Yeah, the Cybermen are under the control of the Doctor. Under the control of the Doctor. Also, she offers to pop away Clara's pain.
Yeah.
The Doctor just throws it on the ground. It's like, no more murder.
But, yeah, Missy gave the Doctor the Cyberman army. This is her gift. It's just, hey, all those wrongs in the universe, you can make them right now. All the people suffering in Dalek camps, you can fix it. You can change the outcome of every war. Right all the wrongs with your army, Doctor. And the real purpose for this is that she wants to bring him down to her level. Because she wants her friend back.
She wants to show him they're not so different.
Yeah. Just that's her thought process. She knows she can't improve, so she's going to have the Doctor come down to her level instead of going up to his level. Which she'll try to go up to his level in Series 10, as we'll find out.
Yeah.
But,
And she almost makes it, and
that's so heartbreaking. But that's the thing another time. And this does lead to, and I discussed this when we did Twin Dilemma, and got really pissed off at the Colin Baker era for fucking up such an arc. But Moffat and Capaldi nail it. This is the culmination of the question: am I a good man?
Yeah.
And the doctor, he realizes, he thanks Missy. He truly thanks her from the bottom of his hearts. She helped him realize he's not a good man. He's not a bad man. He's not a hero. He's not a president. He's not an officer. He's an idiot. Just an idiot with a blue box and a screwdriver, passing through, helping out, learning.
Love it.
I love that so much.
Yeah,
Just-
he goes further as well.
he goes further.
But I love the montage that leads to this moment where it's like clips
Oh,
from the
yeah,
previous series.
Fuck, I forgot to mention the montage.
So it's like, Clara, am I a good man? I think it's from Mummy on the Orient Express. Then it's Danny saluting him in The Caretaker. Then it's Rusty from Into the Dalek. I see hatred.
Yeah.
And you are a good Dalek.
Yep.
And then he goes, thank you. And Missy's just like perplexed, like, what's going on here?
So he finally realizes it's not about being good or bad. It's about trying to do the right thing.
And then we get a line that hit with me heavily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need an army. I've got them. Points to Danny and Clara. He will never harm her. Love isn't an emotion. Love is a promise. Oh.
Because Danny, while Missy was doing her whole dumb shtick with the safety routine, Danny never moved.
Yeah, the one soldier not obeying. Danny
protected Clara. It's love won out above the emotional inhibition.
Technically not the one soldier not obeying, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, anyway, the doctor gives Danny the bracelet.
Wait, hang on. Before you move on, I have something for this. So the doctor gives Danny the bracelet, and then Danny immediately goes,
What? What? What the fuck? What? I understand it now. But I don't understand it.
I
can hear
referenced
it.
this a few weeks ago.
What is this?
Age of Empires.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember
It's the
you
monk
saying that.
conversion sound from Age of Empires.
God.
I just had like a mumbled mood sound, and then you played it like, oh my god, it is.
Right. So Danny has the
Incredible.
bracelet.
PE catch.
PE thing.
Well, that again, that's a throwback to The Caretaker.
Yeah. But anyway, so Danny's got the bracelet, and he's just saying, the army of the dead will save the land of the living. And, he commands everybody. And Missy's like, what can one Cyberman do to stop me? Not one Cyberman. I got an army. And so Danny and the Cybermen all over the world rocket up into the clouds and blow them up.
This is not the order of a general, nor the whim of a lunatic. This is the promise of a soldier. Then he tells Clara that she will sleep safe tonight, and then he goes.
God.
What an ending for this character.
And that just leaves Missy.
well, technically it's not his ending, but we'll get into that in a minute.
We'll get
No,
that
actually,
in a
it's not,
second.
because he just turned up in the Christmas special. But
Well, yeah, even in this episode.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I wish we didn't have
cry.
to. That makes me so
But-
sad. But
Now we've got Missy, and she gives out Gallifrey's coordinates, and Clara picks up her phone blaster, whatever the hell you want to call it, and says, I assume you'll remember those coordinates, Doctor. And the Doctor's like, wait, no, you can't do that. I can't let you do that. I'll do it if it means you don't have to do it, which, again, is just a symbol of their friendship. He will kill his oldest friend, save this friendship.
yeah.
Too bad neither of them gets to shoot her because somebody else does.
Missy is quite delighted because she says, seriously? And she goes, say something nice. So what does the doctor tell her? You win.
God.
You brought me
And
to
then,
your
well-
level. You've won.
And Missy's gone, but she's not dead because, well, I assume this is a teleport. She's back in Magician's Apprentice.
It's specifically stated that this is what she did to survive.
She teleports
In the Witch's
away.
Familiar, she used the energy of the blast to teleport.
Yeah. Okay.
But really,
So-
the person who actually blasted her was another Cyberman.
Oh dear.
Okay. This is So the Doctor and Clara find Kate Stewart in the cemetery, and she's alive and
Yay!
fine. But she fell thousands of feet. What? How the fuck is she alive? Oh, wait. She's talking about her father. Why is she talking about her father? What?
Well,
wait. Who's that Cyberman standing over there?
There's only one person who would care enough about Kate Stewart in order to fly up there and save her, and that would be her father, the Brigadier.
It's also this Cyberman that shot Missy.
Yes. Once again, saving the Doctor so that he doesn't have to do it himself.
Of course, the Earth's darkest hour and mine.
Keeping the Doctor where he's supposed to be.
The Earth's darkest hour and
here
mine.
we
Where
go.
else would you be? And then he salutes him.
Oh,
And
So-
he never saluted him. They even mentioned this earlier in the story. This whole thing is to finally get the Brigadier's greatest wish, a salute from the Doctor. And you know what? I'm sorry, I don't like this.
You what?
I don't like this.
What?
Oh, you don't like this? Okay. I mean, I was about to say that I don't know where I am on this. I can see it both ways, but I don't really know which way I sit.
I'm okay
On
with
one
Kate
hand-
surviving because she's a good character.
Yeah.
And she had more to offer to the show, but I don't like the Brig becoming a Cyberman. I'm sorry.
On the one hand, I can see the tribute and respect in it of like, here's this legacy character. He gets to save the day. He gets to save his daughter, and he gets to go off and have adventures of his own. He becomes immortal in his own way.
He doesn't get
that's
to
a
have
loving-
adventures of his own, though.
Well.
He self-destructs.
Well,
Wait, he's self-destructed?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
they all do.
No, well, he
Oh.
doesn't self-destruct in the story, but it's stated in a prose story that to protect the world, because it was dangerous to have a Cyberman, he blew himself up.
Oh, that actually kind of sours it.
That's why I don't like this.
On the other hand, it is a little ghoulish to have a character portrayed by a departed actor, the lovely Nicholas Courtney, and just like, hey kids, look, his body. Oh yeah.
They handled his death better in Series 6.
Yeah.
Allow me to somewhat help you guys with this, because I actually like this for one specific reason.
Okay.
And it's just to show us that nobody was safe. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even the fact that they were able to convert the Brigadier, that shows that it could have been anybody who got converted. Like we said before, it could even have been Amy and Rory, or anybody else who died on Earth and was buried or left there.
Exactly.
It could have been literally anybody. He could have, all Missy would have to do is have like all the companions who died on Earth and were converted come to a point, take off their masks, and show the Doctor, and that would have broken him.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
It's like, obviously they didn't do that with the Brigadier because the person inside the suit would not look like the Brigadier, because unfortunately Nicholas Courtney did die.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a fridge horror situation where it's like, even the Brigadier himself was not safe from this. Who knows what else could have happened if this went wrong?
Really, I think this is one of those things where I just have to say it's up to you to decide.
Yeah.
Whether you think it's good because it ups the stakes of if this could have happened to anybody the Doctor cared about, or if you just think, yeah, maybe bringing back this character wasn't the greatest move. So it's up to you again. But
Yeah.
he's off, and it's 2 weeks later. Clara's asleep in bed, and she hears Danny's voice. She heads out into her hallway, and she sees a portal. And it's Danny talking to her. He found something, a way to convert them back from the Nether Sphere, which is shutting down, into the real world. And Clara's like, okay, come on through. And so, but instead of Danny coming through, he sends the kid he shot through, his last act of redemption, giving up his chance of life to undo his greatest mistake and to give the kid a second chance.
Oh.
And with that, he fades away.
His last words to Clara are, "I'm sorry, Clara, but I have promises to keep." Oh my!
He asks her to
God.
get the kid back to his home, which is probably a saga in itself. But we don't see it. But the doctor and Clara meet for lunch.
Oh
And
no!
the doctor sees that bracelet and is like, "Oh, Danny figured out he could get home with that thing, huh? Great!"
Yeah, and Clara hasn't got it in her to lie to him.
But the doctor's got in it to lie to Clara because he says, "I found Gallifrey.
Yeah,
I put in the coordinates Missy said, and I found Gallifrey." And we see the doctor put in the coordinates, travel in the TARDIS, open the doors, empty
Nothing.
fucking space. And he just fucking is angrily beating the shit out of the TARDIS. It's sparking wildly. He is just mad in grief and fury and infuriated that she got the better of him in her last moment, or so he thinks. And so, faced with the lying, Clara mirrors it and lies right back about Danny. She doesn't tell him the truth. She's just like, "Oh yeah, you found Gallifrey, so Danny and I will be okay too."
Yeah.
And Clara asks for a hug. The doctor, who is normally averse to hugs, he gives her a hug, and she's like, "Why don't you like hugging? Hugging's just a way to hide your face."
Yeah, never trust a hug.
Yeah. They thank each other for making them feel special, and the doctor and Clara go their separate ways. The doctor goes off in his TARDIS, and Clara just walks down the street.
It's the faces when they're hugging, though, because you see that
Yeah.
Clara's
The
hugging the
grief,
doctor, and her face is upset, and the doctor's hugging Clara, and he is hiding his upset, and
Even in the end here, they're lying to each other.
yeah.
Remember what I said before at the beginning of this, where it's like sometimes friends do stuff to each other that isn't always okay? It's like this is one of those moments where
Example.
the doctor basically thinks that Clara's going to be happy now she has Danny back. Why depress her by saying that he wasn't able to find Gallifrey? And then Clara's like, "Oh, well, he's probably going to return home. Why would I ever, want to take him away from that? I'll just, continue the thought that Danny's alive and everything's fine."
Yeah.
And it's like they're both hurting themselves and each other with this lie, but they just don't know it yet.
Yeah, and that's how we end Death in Heaven.
And it could have
Well,
been how
credits
we
roll.
ended Clara's story.
Well, we didn't because but before the credits roll, everything's fine. And wait, what the fuck's that knocking? What?
Oh, the master survived after all.
Who the fuck is at the door? Oh my god!
I'll tell you who it is. It's motherfucking Santa!
I got to bring the bit back.
Yes, you did.
Yay!
That's right. This episode just had the credits interrupted by knocking and a voice saying, "Oh, doctor, you can't let it end like that. She's in trouble, and so are you." And oh hey, here he is. It's like Kat said, it's
Nick Frost.
Yeah, he's
as
played by
Santa.
Nick Frost, even better. But
Nick Frost is Santa Claus. But that leads into Last Christmas.
we
which,
go full Marvel here with a mid credit scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that leads into Last Christmas, and Last Christmas is fucking wonderful. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mike. It's wonderful.
Even to this day, sometimes I get like those little tension headaches where they're right where your temples are. And
Oh,
every
fuck.
single time I get one, I immediately think of the dream crabs.
Oh
That's
my!
how fucking amazing Last Christmas is.
Yes.
And Last Christmas is like, depending on how you rank Twice Upon a Time, from how I rank Twice Upon a Time, it's either the second best or the third best Capaldi Christmas story.
I am so glad
Obviously,
though
the top one is the
that
River
Jenna
Song.
Coleman
Of course.
agreed to appear beyond Series 8, because if she hadn't, this would have been the last time you saw Clara.
We wouldn't have got No Face the Raven.
This
no
was originally
Heaven.
written as her ending.
We would have got No Face the Raven, no Heaven Sent, no Hellbent.
No, Last Christmas.
Hellbent's brilliant, don't at me.
We probably would have got Last Christmas ending with the Doctor taking on Shona as a companion.
Which, interesting, but I prefer what we got.
Yeah.
Well, but that was our second opinion, our second look our redemption, my redemption, if you will. I got to talk about Dark Water, Death in Heaven, and in that regard, may I start?
You may.
Of course.
Just because this is okay. I'm getting emotional again. Shit. This is
Oh,
no.
we all
I'm fucking serious. This is like a real vindication for me. Just like this one podcast, I had horrible like anxiety memories about to this day. Like, oh fuck, that was pretty cringe. The way I just shut the fuck down thanks to anxiety and didn't get to talk about this episode. I love these two episodes. I love because I love them. I honest to fucking god love them, and revisiting that rekindled that love. They're some of the best Capaldi era episodes of all time. Some of the best episodes of the show of all time. Say, why not? They're just so good. The way that the Doctor and Clara's relationship is built up through with that incredible volcano scene, that incredible line about betrayal. And it's absolutely horrific in the way it deals with death and the Cybermen in the most effective way possible for the Cybermen until we get World Enough in Time the Doctor Falls, where we see that shit happen to a companion over a long period of time.
Oh, you had to remind me
Like,
of that.
It's the most effective use of the Cybermen because it gets at the whole body horror aspect of it and isn't just, hey, look, it's a bunch of death robots you remember from the old days, and they're gonna go bang, bang, shoot, shoot. It makes
Or
sense.
hey, it's a whole bunch of people or people converted into robots. We're just gonna turn them into plain old robots. Why not? Not that I'm mad or anything. Sorry, you were talking. Go on.
Like, I will say, to throw some more shade at the Ascension of the Cybermen, the Cybermen were trying to kill those people. They weren't trying to convert them. They were just trying to kill them like fucking robots.
Even Earthshot, I'm sorry for interrupting now, but even Earthshot was trying to convert them, some of them.
Really? I'm probably missed that because Earthshock was a while ago, but
No, you're right. They were just trying to kill him. No, forget it.
Okay, no, fuck yeah, Earthshock fucks this up too. They're not fucking killer robots. You play with the body horror.
I'm thinking of another Cyberman story we haven't actually covered yet.
If you want aliens shooting people, use a fucking Dalek.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I think the only reason that the Cybermen would actually shoot somebody is if they were useless as a something for conversion, essentially.
Yeah. Even Rise of the Cybermen, that Tenant one, even as hammy as that was, that got the body horror.
That was a good one, though. I like that.
Yeah, it's a little, but it got the body horror down. So I'll give it a little hesitant thumbs up. But back to Dark Water, Death in Heaven. I mean, you've got Missy. Michelle Gomez turned out to be just absolute fucking treasure. And you've just got so much shit about regret and death and pain and hurt. And just these realizations of how we can be better. Of how friendship can make us better. How love can make us better. How doing the right thing can make us better. And all that wrapped up in a pretty downer ending, but that gets resolved in Last Christmas with a fun little Christmas episode to have us say, hey, no, you two need to really work this shit out and talk to each other and understand each other. So I'm going to sum it up by saying what I should have said in 2014 if I wasn't so anxious. I love Dark Water and Death in Heaven. They're some of the finest episodes of Doctor Who that have ever aired. And thank you to everyone involved for them. I will say that proudly. And I thank you, too, for letting me have the chance to finally say that out in the open on the show without any anxious fear. So thank you for that. And please, let me know what you thought of our little revisit.
You are more than welcome. Kat, I'd like to go last because I'm going to end things with a hot take, so...
Oh, sure. Okay, so to start us off, my fucking heart. It's like... There are certain episodes of Doctor Who that always get me. And it's like, one of them is definitely Angels in Manhattan. Thinking about Amy and everything. A Good Man Goes to War. Seeing Amy's distress over the baby and everything. This is one of those two-parters that always get me. Always get me. It's like... how can you not? It's like obviously I saw with a bit more of a critical eye this time, so the whole emotional aspect was a little bit muted, but I still felt it. Even now, I kind of feel like I'm going to cry, and I'm not entirely sure if that's just because of the pollen count outside or if it's because of this episode.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah, probably. But it's like just the beats hit so well, and Missy is fantastic, and Clara's fantastic, and the Doctor's fantastic. Everybody's fantastic. And it's like, yeah, there are some parts that a lot of people don't like. There are some parts that they could have done a little better, but as a whole, I love this as a finale. And just a reminder, this is the end of Capaldi's first season. First season.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. This is why I love Capaldi as the Doctor so much, because he had such a banger of a time there. Just, I love Dark Water, I love Death in Heaven, I love the existential horror, I love the dark aspects of it. I like dark Doctor Who, pretty much. And it's like, the darker the better, because I like to be able to think about those kinds of things, and I'm one of those weird people who likes that. In case you're wondering, no, I was not emo when I was in high school. I wish I was. But it's just... It's like the comedy worked, the emotional parts worked, everything worked so well. And it's just... I miss you, Moffat. Come back, please. I apologize for everything I said before. Just come back. I miss you. Get rid of everything. Get rid of Chibnall. Bring back Capaldi. Bring back Moffat. Bring back Murray Gold, so then Rainiac has something to talk about.
I just want to say that for Krista, the 11th Doctor is her Doctor, the one she could write an entire great book about, that you can also buy on Amazon.com. But Capaldi is my Doctor.
And also she writes a blog that's almost entirely about that. And
Yeah.
ponies, if you're interested.
Yeah, you should check
Plus
her
other
out.
things. You should
But,
absolutely check her out.
Anyway, yeah, Capaldi is my Doctor. That's part, and this may be the last time we talk about Capaldi on this podcast since we've done all the other episodes. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever revisit it, so I just wanted to say that Peter Capaldi was my Doctor, and I'm eternally grateful for all those episodes.
Yeah. It's like technically I came in on the 10th Doctor, but even then I wouldn't call him my Doctor. Capaldi is also my Doctor. It's like, he's just fantastic. It's like, it goes Capaldi, then it goes to Matt Smith, and then after that I'm not entirely sure, because Tennant and Eccleston are kind of the same in my mind. They're a little too much for me.
And then there's Whittaker, which, yeah, who knows?
I don't even know if she's on the list currently.
Well.
Wait, hang on. I also want to say that if we're talking about all the Doctors in total, it'll be 6 Doctor than Capaldi.
Oh, dang. That's a hot take. That might be hotter than the hot take.
Someone has to give Colin Baker some love. That poor man.
That take is hotter than the
It's
sun.
gonna be me.
You gave him that love, and you also gave him $75 to troll me.
Yes.
Anyway, Rainiac, please go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I promised a hot take, so here we go. So firstly, got nothing but praise for both these episodes. Dark Water is perhaps one of my favourite Doctor Who stories ever. Just on its own. It is so beautifully crafted, so well written. The acting is amazing. Missy is a wonderful addition to the show. I don't care what the haters have to say, they're wrong. Missy was fantastic.
You didn't like Death in Heaven that much, did you?
Originally, no. Changed my mind. It's not as good as Dark Water, but Death in Heaven is a wonderful accompaniment to Dark Water.
Hell yeah.
You've maybe changed my mind.
Redemption.
But that's not the hot take. No. The hot take concerns the Cybermen.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, the best Cyberman story. And it's the best Cyberman story because the Cybermen are not the main focus.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could probably give it to World Enough in Time, Dr. Falls too.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
a very
said,
close
but-
run thing, and that's another wonderful story. One of my favourites, World Enough in Time.
Agreed.
But and the crazy thing is this: this isn't even arguably the best Capaldi finale
No.
because,
Which one? Which one are you thinking?
well, any of them could be put up as the best.
Yeah, they could.
You could make an argument for any of Capaldi's two big finales that these are the best
Hellbent and
finales,
Heaven's
maybe even the
Hellbent
best stories
and Heaven's
of his run.
A lot of people won't argue Heaven Sent Hellbent because a lot of people don't like Hellbent.
Well, that's cute, but it sure is wrong.
Yeah, agreed. Hellbent fucking owns.
I don't mean to
Fuck
insult
yeah.
people. I don't mean to insult people because anyone's opinions are valid.
Except yours, they're wrong.
Yes, I'm one of those people, I'm afraid. But
So, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, one of the best Cybermen stories.
incredible, absolutely incredible.
Mhm.
Right, I believe it's my turn next.
So, oh, that was your take. That's all you had to say.
Yeah, one of the best. As I say, one of the best.
All right.
And,
well,
and
so you
the hot take
well,
was a Cybermen thing, and I think I've got that point across.
all right. Well, thank you again for letting me do this, and well, the floor is yours, Rain. What do you
Okay.
got?
Well, I changed this pick, not at the last minute, but I gave it a think and changed my pick. So, for a while, I've wanted to cover Christopher Eccleston again because he's recently back in the Doctor Who bubble with Big Finish, and I don't think he
Yeah.
got enough love when he was doing his series because his first series is actually fantastic, by and large. But unfortunately, yeah, I know what I was doing, but unfortunately, recent events have meant that certain stories we can't talk about.
Yeah, we'd rather not talk about those. Huh?
So I was
Yeah.
racking my brains trying to think of an Eccleston story that didn't involve him or the other him, and I found
there
one.
are.
And it couldn't
well,
be the two-parter that we got planned for Polly either.
Oh,
But I found one.
I think I know where we're going.
I found the best solo Christopher Eccleston story that was made.
And by the way, Polly, we would like you on the show at some point.
So this is going to be a shorter one next week, possibly, because it's only a 45-minute episode.
Oh.
I know
But
where you're
we've
going.
talked about the Cybermen, and now it's time to talk about the other great recurring villain of Doctor Who. Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Christopher Eccleston stars in Dalek.
Oh, I thought you were going to say continuity errors.
Christopher Eccleston stars in Dalek. Not going to do two errors, no. So yeah, I will hold this up as the best Dalek story of the or one of the best Dalek stories of the modern era.
If I'm remembering it correctly, that was a very good episode.
Have you seen it before?
This will be interesting.
I was kind of hoping that I picked one you hadn't seen before, but that's all right. It does the Daleks right.
It's the grand return of the Daleks after, what, 17 years?
Yeah, it does them justice. It actually builds on another, funnily enough, Big
Arc?
Finish story called
Really?
Jubilee. It's kind of like the basis for it.
Yeah, right. We'll talk about the history of that.
And Jubilee is fantastic, but we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, I just want to do something a bit shorter, a bit sweeter, and give Christopher Eccleston some love as the Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
It's traditional.
Yeah.
It's not Gonzo, but not everything that is traditional is bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good.
Honestly, it'll be nice to go back to, like essentially the reimagining of Doctor Who and see the differences between then and now.
Yeah. I almost did another
that's
story
original.
of his, and I chose against it at the last second, and I'll let Kat know why later. But
Well, let Kat know. What about me?
I'll let you know later as well.
You
But
get told nothing. He's only going to tell me because I'm his favorite.
Yeah.
I have a reason that I can't go into.
Well, we still want Polly to come on for that Christopher Eccleston 2-part episode.
Yes, Polly, you really should.
Do it.
Yes, yes.
Was it-
And if you
Was that, was that the soundboard or you?
if you
That's the
disagree,
soundboard.
that was a soundboard. If you disagree with my choice of Dalek, please tell us about it in our Gmail account, which is goexterminateyourself@gmail.com.
Nice segue.
Thank you. And you can find us on Twitter @ReviewsDoctor. You can find me on Twitter @RainiacTheManiac, Kat's @ConclaveUsurper, and Jerry's @FreezingInferno.
Yeah, feel free to at me. Unless it's about Hellbent being the best, which... Unless you agree with me, that is, in which case you can at me about that.
Or add him with any sort of Clara fan art that you have that's not terrible.
That too. That too.
Yes.
And by terrible, we mean Rule 34 terrible. I
Yeah,
know it exists.
Of course it exists.
I wish I could bleach my eyeballs out.
Yes.
Really? That bad?
But thank you to Jerry for picking Dark Water and Death in Heaven and us getting to relive it, because they are fantastic.
Thanks to
I've
both of
seen
you for
things-
agreeing to let me have that redemption.
I have seen things, Jerry, that would shock you. I am not the
mean,
same person that I was before,
Right.
and I never will be again.
Okay, Roy Batty.
So, kids, here's a PSA. Keep safe search on when you're looking up stuff about your favorite characters or people.
Oh God, yes, do that.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say.
Please do that.
And in the meantime, I'm going to go over into this corner and cry.
And while she's doing that, I want to thank Kat for being on the show this week, as with every week. Wow, she actually is crying. And thank you to the audience for listening to us talk about Dark Water and Death in Heaven. And join us next week for, as I say, a shorter episode probably, but hopefully no less fun, as we cover Christopher Eccleston in Dalek. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.